At SimpliSafe, we design award-winning security to protect every inch of your home. It's easy to set up yourself, and now there's an even easier option. Have an expert do it for you with SimpliSafe Pro Install. Always protecting, never a contract. 2 easy installation options. Backed by 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/FREE. ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
At SimpliSafe, we design award-winning security to protect every inch of your home. It's easy to set up yourself, and now there's an even easier option. Have an expert do it for you with SimpliSafe Pro Install. Always protecting, never a contract. 2 easy installation options. Backed by 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
It's time to start the program. It's time to earn our pay. It's time to meet the people on the Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Monday morning, and actually a nicer day than I think we had expected. Initially, the forecast was calling for cooler, like 65 and cloudy, and you know all that rain that we're supposed to get. We've gotten really none of it, right?
Yeah.
It's bad. I mean, the later in the week, though, they say, maybe some rain. Maybe even tomorrow night.
So I did a game yesterday, actually 2 games yesterday, and the field we were on was like
crunchy.
I joked to one of the kids, do you think this is dead grass or do you think this is plastic?
Yeah, wow. Yeah, it crazy.
Was fried. The grass was totally fried.
The grass is fried. We'll this morning speak with Mayoral, Utica Mayoral candidate Mike Galimi. Spend part of the 8 o'clock hour with him this morning. Got an update on an organ transplant, a person who needed an organ transplant. We have an update this morning on that. Apple. Today is a big Apple Day. I don't know if you've got it on your calendar, Manaski. It's on mine.
I don't, but I know your alarm was probably set to it
Set
2
to
weeks
it,
ago,
yeah.
counting down the 2 weeks until the big announcement today, or the conference.
10 a.m. Pacific time, which means 1 p.m. our time, and I'll have to, check it out.
Yeah, of course.
But, there'll be, this is the day where they announce new products. It's their developers conference. So they do the initial opening, and they'll talk about the new operating system that'll be coming out on the phone and usually the computer. And all the wishful thinking will come to an end. People will be things that people are hoping for their iPhones or for their, what are you hoping for, Davey? You don't even know you've had the iPhone for a month.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
It's also a big day in Western New York today.
Today is what? Buffalo Bills.
9 o'clock. They're going to break ground for the new stadium.
They are. Yeah, that's pretty big. Yeah.
It's going to be on Facebook and going to be on YouTube, so you can watch it live.
We'll get an update, by the way, on the Apple issue, their conference with Evan Brown later on this morning. Tanya Powers, dozens of kids vanishing in Cleveland as police probe an alarming trend. What is going on there?
Yeah, I know. It sounds scary. It sounds really scary.
We'll speak with Tanya on that coming up in a little bit. How was yesterday? I saw kind of a breezy day yesterday. It was okay. It was nice. Here in the sun, it was beautiful. But man, when that wind would blow, you would watch the pollen just blow from the trees.
Oh yeah,
just a yellow dust that just you knew was heading straight for your sinuses.
And to some extent, you could. As if the breeze came by strong enough, you could see it coming off the tree so much so it looked like either smoke or some type of debris rising in the distance. It's like, is that rain falling off that tree, or is that just more pollen?
Did you see that Chuck Todd announced yesterday that he is leaving Meet the Press?
Wow, I actually watched part of the program. It must have come at the end.
He announced it at the end. And saying that, and he's had a bit of a difficult run. Ratings have been down. If you remember, President Trump just completely went after Chuck Todd. Did he have a nickname? I don't know that he was worthy of a nickname. He says, I leave feeling concerned about this moment in history, but reassured by the standards we've set here, Todd said. We didn't tolerate propagandists, and this network and program never will. The replacement, they've already named his replacement, and it's Kristen Welker. So it'll be a female host replacing Chuck Todd on Meet the Press.
I think Fox News Sunday has a female host as well.
Yep. Interesting.
So Chuck Todd actually did have a Trump nickname. I'm just double-checking it. Was it Sleepy Eyes?
It might. Oh, maybe it was.
Sleepy Eyes Chuck Todd.
Yeah. Let's see.
Sleepy Eyes. That's what Trump calls him.
Sleepy Eyes. Terrible story from over the weekend in the Bridgewater area. A UTV flipped onto its roof. A woman died on Friday. It happened about 8:20 p.m. Deputies responded to private property off Stone Road in the town of Bridgewater. 4 people were in the UTV when the driver, Jeffrey Dickinson of Ilion, tried to make a turn, according to deputies. The 2020 Polaris flipped onto its roof. Victoria Dickinson, 29 of Ilion, was seated behind Dickinson and was not wearing a seatbelt, according to deputies. She was partially ejected from the UTV. She was declared dead at the scene. The front seat passenger, Thomas Donahoe of Bridgewater, had minor injuries, and a backseat passenger, Camille Donahoe, Bridgewater, was uninjured. But one woman passed away, and she was partially ejected when the vehicle tipped over. Terrible. These are supposed to be safe. If you remember, they got rid of the 3-wheelers. So they used to be called 3-wheelers, right? And there were constantly cases of them tipping over. But these tend to be a little better. The police say that speed was not a factor in the crash.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Sometimes you get unlevel ground, though. That
it just
can be
rolls,
an
kind
issue.
of?
I guess it did. I mean, that's what seemed to have happened. But it's a terrible story, right?
It is, yeah. 29 years old. That is awful.
What else here this morning? This is a confusing story out of D.C. There was what was believed to be a suspicious airplane flying into D.C. Fighter jets were unleashed, and so much so that there was a sonic boom heard that scared the daylights out of people in D.C. And ultimately, that plane, and I believe we're hearing, was an entire family from Florida on the plane. Ultimately, that plane crashed in Virginia.
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of uncertainty still because it was initially, as you said, thought to be, I don't know, something nefarious around the state capitol. There was concern in that regard. And then the plane crashed. Do we know what caused the plane to crash?
I don't know, but conspiracy theorists would say, well, we must have shot it down.
Wow.
I don't know. Were they losing control? Did they lose their bearings and did not know where they were? At this point, it's still very, very much a mystery. And out of the Syracuse area, I don't know about you, but whenever we travel to Syracuse, we're almost always on 690. And did you see that on 2 people shot while driving on Interstate 690 early Sunday morning at about 5 o'clock in the morning when a vehicle pulled up next to them and then just opened fire on the vehicle? The hell is going on?
I know, it's scary.
Now, there's no word of whether or not the two parties knew each other.
Okay.
At this point, it doesn't seem like they did. If they did, the people are not talking. Both are in stable condition. Both were hit. The car ended up crashing. This would happen right near Teal Avenue, exit 14 on 690. Police say any information, contact Crime Stoppers or call the police at 315-442-5222.
Yeah, that's a scary situation, even more so if they didn't know the alleged shooters in this incident because, right, just pull up and start shooting on somebody you don't know or have to worry about that when you pull up to an intersection.
Yeah. We hear a ton about how things are not as safe around here, but, man, when you look to Syracuse, they're having some real issues with people shooting up people. Over the weekend, the Yankees pulling out a good win last night. The Mets, though. What did we say when we left on Friday? After this big turnaround here and a sweep of Philadelphia, the Mets will probably go into this weekend and be swept by Toronto. And sure enough, it's exactly what happened. All close games, but yesterday there were just a ton of home runs, but the Mets end up losing 6-4. Is Buck Showalter, and Larry, if you're out there listening, you'll say, I told you so. Is Buck Showalter in trouble?
Well, Larry's got a right to say that, and I think Buck Showalter could be in some trouble. I mean, this team is just absolutely underperforming. I know they hit 4 home runs yesterday, but 30-30, a 500 club after being swept this weekend, that's not what they're paying all that money for.
And a lot of money has been spent. High school baseball and softball. I think the only 2 teams we have moving on, and maybe, Davey, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but in softball, in the Class D state semifinals, Poland has advanced to the semifinals of the state tournament. And for the first time in, I think it's been close to 40 years for Little Falls, they had won a state baseball championship back in I believe it was the 80s. Since the first time since then, I guess it was the 1983 season that saw Little Falls winning their state championship. They have advanced to the New York State semifinals as well. So those 2 teams advancing in the state tournament is a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely, and good luck to Little Falls and to Poland. Oriskany was in the action this weekend as well, but unfortunately lost on Saturday, so they are kind of knocked out of the state. Not kind of, they are knocked out of the state tournament.
Busch Gardens, Tampa. Interesting story, is working with authorities after an influencer jumped into their alligator exhibit to make a video. people will do anything to make these videos because they make so much money off them. But why in the world how are you going to spend your money if you've been eaten by an alligator?
That's a good question. Was he partially eaten or bitten?
I don't think so.
Wow.
No injuries were sustained by the guest. Employees had to go in and try to save the guy. And the animals were not injured also during the entire incident.
It would be great if the story ended with none of the alligators bit the man, but the zoo staff gave him a real stern talking to behind the woodshed.
Yeah, he should have been beaten. Here's a clip. Apparently, the influencer online, his name is Jupa, and he is doing a Steve Irwin impression. Here, I don't have audio on that, but I will have in a bit.
If he keeps it up, he's going to do the ultimate Steve Irwin impression. Be killed by the animals that you're videoing.
The last person you want to do an impression of while jumping into an alligator pit would be Steve Irwin, right?
I would think.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's blockbuster action series, Willy Waffle, gave this high reviews. It kicked off over the weekend, has done really well. Did you see any of it? Did anybody see any of it?
I didn't. Is this the one he gave 3.5 waffles to?
Yeah. Fubar is the name of the series. Arnold Schwarzenegger is out doing all sorts of promotion on this, but it is apparently it's really good. He also has a movie coming out called Extraction 2, which begins streaming on Friday.
Okay.
Heard and Willie on Friday said that the Spider-Man movie, which is, I guess, partially animated. Is it all animation? I don't know. But I've heard that is very, very good. Willie gave that high reviews as well on Friday. That is in theaters. You know, that's the place where you go to actually watch a movie.
Yes.
When was the last time you've been in a theater?
As a matter of fact, the last time I think I was there, I took Carter to go see whatever the latest Spider-Man was before this new release.
So it's been somewhat recent, but not. I mean, I remember a time when we would go to the movies every week.
Yeah.
And I don't know, COVID just kind of wiped that out, although people are returning as movie companies are putting movies back in theaters.
So the Spider-Man No Way Home premiered in December of 2021, and I think that's what we went to go see. So this was around Christmas time, a year and a half, 2 years ago. Boy, it doesn't seem like that long ago.
It's amazing how time flies. Got a break. We'll come right back, 6:33. Coming up, we'll speak with Tanya Powers from Fox News and an issue of kids disappearing in the Cleveland area. Is this a scary trend that'll be spreading around the country? 6:33, we'll get to that coming up at WIBX.
Spring is on the way, and if you're looking to make the most of it in a new RV, camper, boat, or trailer, then look to Mohawk Valley FCU. Right now, you can get up to 120-month financing for as low as 5.74% APR for any new recreation vehicle. That's 120 months of financing for as low as 5.74% APR. Go to MohawkValleyFCU.org for more info and to apply today. Mohawk Valley FCU, member-focused, member-driven.
When it comes to pools and spas, only one name will do. Tucker Backyard, now at their new location, 8086 Seneca Turnpike, Clinton, 1 mile west of Big Apple Plaza. Online at tuckerbackyard.com. Come visit our new and much larger facility, giving us the ability to serve all of our customers and potential customers even better. Need your water tested? Need chemicals? Maybe you're considering a new pool or spa? Then come see us today. We have a full line of both pools and spas to choose from, with many on display, including the low-maintenance fiberglass pool. Check out our unique indoor showroom, including 3 fully functional pools, giving you a full hands-on experience when purchasing from Tucker Backyard. We look forward to serving you from our brand new facility, Tucker Backyard Pools and Spa, 8086 Seneca Turnpike, 1 mile west of Big Apple Plaza. Online at tuckerbackyard.com. We bring the fun to your backyard.
Buy direct from the manufacturer and make a splash with a new spa from Strong Spas, now open in Sangertown Square. Choose from over 100 ready-to-deliver spas in stock with new inventory weekly and prices slashed to move fast. Visit the largest spa showroom in New York State and ask about their many financing options. You have to see this showroom to believe it. Strong Spas. Experience the difference in person. Sangertown Square, New Hartford, or online at strongspas.com. Hurry, these spas won't last.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
You know, I had and I'll put this story back up. How to kill weeds. It is the most amazing thing in the world that I do not understand. Your grass is not growing. In fact, your grass is turning crunchy. But every weed on your property is doing very, very well. Have you noticed?
Yeah, they still grow.
Like the weeds are still growing. So we have a brick walkway that, at this point, the weeds are all coming up through it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get out the vinegar and make my my concoction. So it's a gallon of vinegar. It is 2 cups of Epsom salt. Maybe it's 1. And a good supply of Dove dish detergent. And that apparently allows it to stick to the roots, and that's what's supposed to. But you want to do it on a sunny day. If the sun is not shining, it will not work.
Really?
It's got to heat it up. What it does, it basically bakes them. And the salt and the vinegar, it pulls out all the moisture and all the water, and it kills them.
Okay.
So it works well. And I did it yesterday, and it works okay. But I found a vinegar at the big box places. I think this was Lowe's. Found a vinegar that is, so apparently your household vinegar is 5%. That's what I'd use, just regular white vinegar.
Okay.
But this is a 30% vinegar.
Like a cleaning vinegar? I have some of that.
It is a cleaning vinegar. So we use, like on a hardwood floor, they'll say you can use vinegar and water. But this is a high intensity. You don't want to get this vinegar on your skin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you certainly don't want to get it in your eyes, and you do not want to cook with it or
put it on your salad.
Put it on your salad. So I tried it yesterday, and I thought I had to dilute it, but it said go all in. It's 30%. So 30% vinegar with the Epsom salt and the Dove dish detergent. Man, those weeds were dead within the hour.
Really?
It was unbelievable.
Dove specifically or Dawn?
Dawn, I mean.
Dawn.
Did I say Dove?
Okay, yeah.
Dawn.
Okay, so
I imagine you could use any dish
probably
soap or whatever. But because I try to stay away from the stuff they say is cancer causing and all of that.
I'm confused. I'm glad you brought this up. I've asked a couple of people this, and people have different thoughts on what the reason is. There are commercials that run, I see on television, and I hear them here on the radio station. Do you want to be part of the class action lawsuit against Monsanto for causing can't right the weed thing with Roundup? And then I think you can go to JK, Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, and get Roundup.
Yes.
Is it some people tell me it's a different formula and they don't use whatever chemical was used before, but I don't know about that.
I don't know either. But some people will say, well, I don't want those things. I don't want that. We're growing vegetables or herbs, so I don't want that.
Right.
In the soil. I don't know. But I feel like it's a good thing to stay away from that if you can. However, sometimes, Roundup is the only stuff that's going to work. if you want to get rid of weeds. This concoction will work, but you got to have a sunny day. But if you have weeds growing in a shady area, this stuff won't work. It won't kill the weeds. So you got to go to a Roundup, and that Roundup works. I also have from Fountainhead, I have the backpack that I bought a couple years ago.
Right.
You can fit 5 gallons of this stuff in there.
You do the whole neighborhood with 5 gallons.
You can do the whole neighborhood, and you just keep pumping it up and spraying and walking. It's the best. I look a little goofy, but it's the best.
I'm going to have to try this. I do have one of those. It's not like the backpack setup. It's like a little handheld device with a sprayer on it. I'm going to have to try it. So I have...
I mix it first and then pour it in. I don't mix it in the...
Gotcha.
In the sprayer.
Okay. That's a pro tip, as they call that.
That's a pro tip right there.
I have onion grass. Is that what it's called? It's like
I don't know what it is, but crabgrass, whatever. I don't even know what. I think I know what you're talking about, but it's the worst.
These very, very long. They
long.
Grow, yes.
They get into everything. They grow really well in mulch.
And so here's the problem.
And they will like we have. My wife has rose bushes. We believe that's what took out her rose bush.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes, because I believe it's also invasive, and it spreads, as they say, like wildfire.
Spreads like crazy.
Yeah, onion grass. So how you get it up, you can't just pull it like it's a weed. You just pluck it out. You got to get the bulb, and it's like 6 inches down.
Yeah.
Right. So now I've kind of been trying to re-level parts of my lawn because I went at it, and I had 14 little holes, these little potholes I had in my backyard that I had to fill with.
Were you like Bill Murray and going after the Gophers?
Well, you might have thought so because again, you got to dig down and get the bulb out.
You need M80s, blow them out of the ground. I think that'll work.
I also have what are those called? What are they? What did you just call them? The ones that burrow and dig the holes,
like
little tunnels?
A groundhog or a woodchuck.
I've got those. I think there's 2 adults, and I think they have a little baby that's running around out there.
The other thing that'll be a very big menace is chipmunks. They'll burrow holes all over your yard. Yeah. So I got to say the stuff works, but get the 30% vinegar. It works much better. But there were areas yesterday that are more shady on my property that it did not work.
Yeah.
But anywhere there was sun, it just wiped out the weeds. Within about an hour, they were dead. Pretty good. By the way, we were talking about that influencer who jumped into the alligator exhibit to film a video that he would make money off. Here's audio. This is a clip from the video that the man known as Jupa made doing his Steve Irwin impression.
All right, guys. So today we're going to be jumping into the crocodile exhibit. Ooh, crikey, mate. This is insane. Let's get a closer look, shall we? Just to see how it is. We have never been this close to the alligator. The crocodiles, guys. Crikey! Look how big that bugger is. We are exploring the Amazon rainforest. This is really crazy. Crikey!
Now people begin seeing him, and he was doing his Steve Irwin impression behind bars after being arrested.
Well, this is going to be kind of an odd theory, and maybe I'm going a little too far with it. But don't they say you can't basically profit from your crime? Can't they do something to, if he's going to get 4 million YouTube
money.
clicks,
Yeah.
to take that ad revenue to say you're not allowed to profit from a crime, even if it's as simple as trespass?
Yeah, they might be able to. I know they're doing that from people who were arrested on January 6th. They've received GoFundMe money. Some have had donations just divvied out to them. The government's trying to go in and take that money away. So if you can take it from them, that was a crime. This is a crime. I would think you could do the same thing. We mentioned Schwarzenegger. What's the conversation like when a couple of blockbuster action stars share an elevator at Netflix?
Oh, who cares?
Here's the answer: is Arnold Schwarzenegger and Chris Hemsworth take a ride together. Of course, Arnold is promoting the Netflix series Fubar, and it's Hemsworth that is promoting the movie Extraction 2, which begins streaming on Friday. Here's audio from that.
Hey, Chris. Hey. So how's it going being the Netflix chief action officer? I mean, you know how much I love action, right?
No one better for the job.
You know, the audio is just way too good for that to be something that is just made up, right?
Oh, completely. And whoever says, by the whole title, we were talking about titles last week.
Correct.
You're the Netflix new action star administrator, whatever he said. Yeah, nobody, you'd go, hey, how's the gig? How's the new gig going? That's it.
Just more fake promotional garbage.
Quick, run to the elevator.
Here's another. Here's another. Is this an influencer? No, this person's simply drunk. A boater was arrested and charged with driving under the influence after being caught passed out at the helm. So he's in a boat, drunk, passed out, and the boat is still going. Seen barreling towards a crowded beach. He claimed not to have consumed any alcohol, even though there were empty beer cans in plain sight. Here's the moment two sheriffs interrogated him along with his also passed out passenger. Both of them were passed out. By the way, no one was hurt, but they were arrested. Here we go with the audio.
Clark.
At the Alphi River off 41.
Do you know where you are now?
Right now, I think we're way out of the way.
Okay. How much have you had to drink?
We don't have no alcohol.
I'm looking at an empty beer can.
Yeah. Well, luckily nobody died. Luckily they didn't die. Right?
That drinking in the sun will get you, though.
It'll get you. A
couple beer cans.
It can hit you hard. We mentioned dozens of kids vanishing in Cleveland and around the Cleveland areas. Police are probing an alarming trend. With the information on that, Tanya J. Powers from Fox News. Tanya, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
So what is this story?
This is a story that our digital team did, and they found that Cleveland, actually, they spoke to a Newburgh Heights police chief, and he said that he's seen a lot more missing person reports for children this year, called it an extraordinary year. Now, again, that's Newburgh Heights Police Chief John Majoy is the one who talked to our digital team about this.
Yeah.
According to the reporting they have done, and I have not been able to take a look at the data and fact check this or find out any other information about it other than what they've done, so I can kind of pass along what they've reported. And apparently, Cleveland, has apparently, and I say apparently for a reason.
Yeah.
Has what they called an alarming increase in missing children reports this year, according to this police chief. Now, again, this is all coming from this police chief. This is not from the Cleveland police.
All right.
27 kids were reported missing in Cleveland or surrounding suburbs over a 2-week span last month. That's kind of the headline that's getting a lot of attention.
Wow.
Now, a couple of things for context, because I always like to go, hey, wait a second, let's look behind the headline here. The available data makes it unclear how big of an increase this is over the previous years. If this is an increase and how big it is, it's not easy to tell according to the data that's available. The Cleveland police department reported 33. So they received 33 reports of missing children for all of May, including 27 that were reported missing between May 2nd and May 14th. Again, it's not clear how big of an increase this is for 2022 to 2023. According to state data, almost 2,400 kids were reported missing in Cuyahoga County last year. That's where Cleveland is.
Wow.
That is according to the state numbers. I would be interested to see how that stacks up with state numbers for the rest of the country, honestly.
Yeah.
And the other thing to keep in mind is most children, I don't know if it's most, let me back up, a lot of children are never reported missing. So, it's very difficult to, kind of quantify the number. And that's according to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. And there's no reliable way to estimate how many kids are missing in the U.S.
I just, when we had you on this morning, I thought to myself, is this one of these stories where the headline is misrepresentative of what's actually going on? And it just makes me wonder how many of these kids are, and I'm not saying this makes it any better, but usually when you hear this, you immediately think child abductions. How many of these cases are 17-year-olds who ran away from home or 16-year-olds? And again, not that that makes it any better, but when you hear 27 kids reported in 2 weeks in one city, you just get the impression that someone's out there just throwing them in cars or white vans and scooping them up.
And that's what I think the headline is. The other part of kids coming up being reported missing is you see it happen. Oftentimes they know the person who has taken them. It may be a husband who doesn't have custody. It may be a wife who doesn't have custody, that sort of thing as well. So,
That's one of the reasons I wanted to approach these numbers with caution.
Right.
Because it's real easy to go, this is an epidemic. These numbers are horrific. I mean, I'm not downplaying that at all.
Right.
But it's a whole different thing to say this is a huge increase with the second half of the sentence being there's no reliable way to tell if it's an increase. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's sort of the context I wanted to make sure we got with this. This is, like I said, this is also coming from a police chief that is not over Cleveland Police Department, and that's the kind of the one that would be sort of the overriding one. The U.S. Marshals did say that they have announced recovery of 35 missing children from northern Ohio between March 1st and May 15th. They did an operation We Will Find You, and they recovered 35 of the missing kids. They found them in different parts of Ohio as well as far as California, Arizona, and West Virginia. The thing I would like to look at is, like I said, how does this stack up with other states?
Sure.
Is this something that we're seeing with other states? I'd really love to have the time to delve into this kind of stuff because this is, any missing child is a huge problem.
Sure.
And where did you say it came from again? Your digital reporting team, or how did you explain that?
Yeah, our website folks, the digital team is the one that spoke to this police chief. Now, I don't know if they also spoke to the Cleveland police.
Right.
I'm not sure who all they talked to. But again, like I said, that's all I have to go on is kind of what they have here.
It's kind of like the shark attack thing, where they say there's been a 100% increase in shark attacks off the coast of Maine. Turns out there was one last year. Now there's two.
The problem doubled.
Yeah.
That is definitely, and it's correct. I mean,
right.
that would be correct.
Yes.
It's just a little, sometimes it can be a little bit, overstated. Obviously, if you've got 27 children missing in the city and suburbs over a 2-week span in May,
that's still a big
clearly
deal.
That's still a problem.
And
I'm not downplaying it at all.
And the other part is, I'd like to know what's the case surrounding each one of these children. Does it include runaways? Does it include abductions from family members and that sort of thing? Or are we dealing with 27 cases of a white van that's driving through a neighborhood, grabbing kids and that, because that would be an alarming story, and that's the first place our minds go to, right?
Right.
It is. And, you also have to wonder if they are, kids that have run away. I mean, like you said, what is the situation surrounding that? Was it such an unsafe place to start with it, that's what they felt they had to do, or was, there's so many different circumstances that these could be from.
Yep.
I would love to know a lot more about this story, honestly.
And I'll throw this at you just because I was thinking it might be something that you'd be interested in, and maybe you've already seen it, but I don't know. I think Hulu has a Brooke Shields documentary on. It's, I think, a 2-parter, and my wife was watching it yesterday, so in the middle of everything I sat down and watching it. I had forgotten how huge Brooke Shields was and how young she was. And the controversy over her being filmed nude when she was 10, the fact that she played in, Pretty Baby? She was like 11 years old in that. Blue Lagoon, she may have been 14, 15. She tells stories about her mother, and boy, it's a very interesting documentary. And I don't think you could pull that stuff off today, Tanya.
I don't think anybody should have then either.
It wasn't that long ago. That's the scary part. Anyway, that's on Hulu if you get a spare moment, which I can't imagine you will. But Tanya, thank you so much. Have a wonderful.
Thanks for the heads up. I'll watch that one. I'm a big fan of her, so that sounds like it would
It's
be
a good
interesting.
one. Yeah. Tanya, have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. You too.
Tanya J. Powers from Fox News. Wayne this morning says the Stewarts on Genesee, and I drove by this the other day. The Stewarts on Genesee Street, that would be South Genesee Street. The old Friendlies, the old Raspberries is going up fast.
Yes, it is.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I drove by there last week. It definitely is. The movie Extraction 2, Mike says, does it take place in a dentist's office? And they're pulling out two of Arnold's teeth with no anesthetic. It is funny because I had a dentist. I went to the dentist because a filling had a piece of a filling had come out, and my dentist, who I like a lot, said, "You want to try this without numbing?" I'm
Why?
Like, what is that? I don't know what that is. And he said, instead of I'm just going to drill in a little bit, and you want to try it without Novocaine? I said, no one's ever said that to me before. I said, sure. He said, I'm going to go in a little deeper. Okay, well then maybe no. But he said, if you feel anything, just raise your hand, and I'll stop, and we'll shoot you up with Novocaine.
Okay.
So he started drilling and got in, and all of a sudden my hand went up. I'm like, yeah, we got a lot more to go.
Who does that?
Apparently, it's now a thing that people are preferring to not be because you can bite your tongue off. You could cause some severe damage in your mouth when you're very numb because you don't feel it, and you wouldn't even realize. Oh, I just bit off a piece of my tongue. I ended up getting Novocaine.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
my extraction was numbed up.
Even numbed up, people get very squeamish about being in the dentist chair. But this is like, I mean, who would go? Yeah, I got a colonoscopy on Friday. I'm going to stay awake the whole time.
I know somebody who's done that. Listen, if you get a colonoscopy done and you stay awake, call Davey up just to confirm that it exists, because I know somebody who does it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
And that's brave. I could not pull that off.
And just one more thought on the Tanya story. And again, it's a very serious thing, and I don't want to see any. I want that number to always be zero, right? The childhood kids missing, abductions, etc. My point being, she specifically noted this came from our digital team, and I'll just look at you and I'll give you a little wink and say, how sometimes it deals with a digital team.
All I know is that digital team, their headlines at Fox are horribly deceiving. And I'll click on things and be like, that is totally clickbait. I cannot believe that's associated with Fox.
Or sometimes what you see is the extraction, I'll use that word again, of a statistic that,
it's clearly clickbait. You're taking a statistic and you're using it to imply something much bigger than what really happened. When the numbers are small and you use percentages, it does not have the same. I want to hear there were 1,000 more blank, 1,000 more shark attacks this year than last year. Well, that would be significant. But, when they say 500% higher than last year, and then you look at the number and the total number is like 9, it's kind of ridiculous. And I kind of wonder about that as well. Got a break. We have news straight ahead at WIBX.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
What went wrong? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and TSB investigators will go to the site of a small plane crash in Virginia, trying to determine why. The Cessna, on a trip from Tennessee to New York, turned around, then flew over Washington, D.C. into restricted airspace, prompting the military to scramble fighter jets.
In a statement, NORAD wrote the civilian aircraft was intercepted at approximately 3:20 p.m. Eastern Time. The pilot was unresponsive, and the Cessna subsequently crashed near the George Washington National Forest in Virginia. NORAD attempted to establish contact with the pilot until the aircraft crashed.
Now, the plane's owner, John Rumpel, told the New York Times his daughter, granddaughter, nanny, and a pilot were on board. No survivors were found in the wreckage.
Mr. Rumpel, who is also a pilot, said that he had little information about the circumstances of the crash, but hoped they had not suffered. His voice breaking, he said that if the plane lost pressurization, they all just would have gone to sleep and never woke up.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff. Russia claims Ukraine keeps carrying out what it calls terror acts in border regions, while also claiming to have thwarted Ukrainian attacks in areas Russia's taken over in the invasion. Russia claims to have killed 250 Ukrainian soldiers, which Ukraine says is misinformation, as Ukraine's troops are readying a counteroffensive.
Ukraine's ambassador to the U.S., Oksana Markarova, said on CBS Face the Nation,
as soon as they will see the openings, we'll start this, it's going to be one or several counteroffensives, but the faster we can liberate all the territory and all our people, of course, the better.
As that conflict continues, a NATO meeting set for next month is expected to address Ukraine's possible inclusion in the NATO military alliance.
Fox's Colonel Scott. Oregon's gun control law, approved by voters, requiring buyers to get a permit to buy a gun, then undergo safety training, goes on trial today after being blocked by lawsuits that claim that law violates the Constitution. America's listening to Fox News.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation delivers on its promise to do good and never forget the sacrifices of America's greatest heroes. Heroes like Marine Corps Corporal Seth Rasmussen, who lost his life in an Osprey aircraft crash. Tunnel to Towers immediately stepped in to provide his wife and infant son with a mortgage-free home. Help the families of heroes like Seth get through the worst times in their lives. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
The Dell Technologies Summer Sale event starts now with limited quantity deals on select performance PCs with Windows 11 Pro. Save on select Vostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Save on essential accessories, plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. Offered to business customers by WebBank, who determines qualifications for and terms of credit.
We have cloudy skies and 51 degrees. WIBX News Time is 7:03. This news update is brought to you by the Frigo Agency. Celebrate Flag Day with a flag exchange. Bring your old American flag to the Frigo Agency on June 13th and 14th to exchange it for a brand new one. Again, that is with the Frigo Agency. Partly sunny skies this afternoon, but some widespread haze expected. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a minute. Again, WIBX News Time is 7:03. Authorities continue to investigate a fatal UTV accident that occurred over the weekend. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office says it happened on private property in the town of Bridgewater. A total of 4 people were inside a side-by-side UTV. Ultimately, the vehicle wound up flipping onto its roof. One person was killed. 29-year-old Victoria Dickinson of Ilion was seated behind the driver and was pronounced dead at the scene. The Criminal Investigation Unit responded as well to the scene. Authorities say it appears that Victoria was partially ejected from the vehicle and was not wearing a seatbelt. Speed was not considered to be a factor in the accident. Again, that happened on Friday night in the town of Bridgewater. State lawmakers heading back to the Capitol today to begin what is likely the final week of the state legislative session. One bill still being debated is called the Clean Slate Act, which would allow some individuals who have completed their sentences to have criminal records sealed after a specific amount of time. There's also a bill regarding an ongoing push to pass good cause eviction legislation to limit the power of landlords to evict tenants. The legislative session is scheduled to end on Thursday. You know, we talked a bit about this on Friday with the Oneida County Executive Anthony Picenti. This eviction bill, kind of ironic that they're considering this in the final week of the session. considering there are reports they were more than happy to allow people to evict tenants in hotels to somebody who's paying a higher dollar.
Yeah, can you imagine Albany not making sense?
The search continues in and around Ithaca for a man who has not been seen for over 2 weeks. The last known whereabouts of Thomas Rath was a homeless encampment on May 19th. Rath disappeared under what officials are calling suspicious circumstances, and they're concerned for his safety. Any tips on the case can be sent to authorities in Ithaca. And one more for you, a virtual state hearing on public tolls on the New York State Thruway. I say public tolls. This is actually for Easy Pass. The meeting is scheduled to run from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. It'll be streamed online through the Thruway's website. Anyone who wants to take part in the hearing just needs to register in advance. If the increases are approved, Easy Pass holders would see a 5% toll hike next year, followed by another 5% in 2027. Your WIBX Weather Center forecast. I don't think I've ever seen this in a forecast before. What we can expect tonight, that is. For today, partly sunny skies, widespread haze after 3 p.m. with a high of 75. Tonight, chance of showers and thunderstorms. Widespread haze before midnight. And according to the National Weather Service, areas of smoke before 9 p.m., then areas of smoke after midnight. Partly cloudy, an overnight low of 52. I would have to imagine this has to do with the ongoing wildfires, that we have smoke in the forecast. Tuesday, slight chance of rain showers and thunderstorms before 8 a.m., then showers possible late in the morning as well and in the afternoon. We will see some sunshine tomorrow, though, with a high of 73. Wednesday, a chance of showers, otherwise partly sunny and a high of 70. Thursday, chance of showers, again, otherwise partly sunny and a high of 68. Will we get that rain? Interesting. I wonder what Richard thinks.
Yeah.
Well, we certainly do. WIBX News Time. Right now we have cloudy skies, 51 degrees. WIBX News Time is 7:07. All right, it's sports. Game 2 of the NBA Finals goes to the Miami Heat. They pull even with the Denver Nuggets after a 3-point victory, 111-108 last night. Game 3 coming up on Wednesday night in Miami. The Mets were swept by the Blue Jays this weekend, 6-4 your final on Sunday. The Mets now 30-30. They open up a series tomorrow night against the Atlanta Braves on the road. The Yankees took the rubber match in their series against the Dodgers, 4-1 the final. The Yankees improved to 36-25, and they return home to start a 3-game set against the White Sox beginning tomorrow night in the Bronx. A pair of local NBA stars representing the home of the Brave this summer, Knicks guard Jalen Brunson and Nets forward Mikal Bridges, have both committed to join Team USA for the FIBA World Cup. Victor Hovland wins the Memorial Tournament after a playoff. Both finished atop the leaderboard at 7 under par. Denny McCarthy missing a putt on his last regulation hole, which would have won it for him. Scotty Scheffler shot a 67 in the final round to end the tournament in third place at 6 under. Kyle Busch wins the Enjoy Illinois 300. And Smitty, the NHL playoffs, Vegas takes Game 1. Game 2 is coming up. Is it tonight?
Yes, Jeff.
Game 2 coming up tonight. We also want to wish luck to a couple of local teams in softball. The Poland girls team still alive in the state tournament, and the Little Falls Mounties still alive in the state baseball tournament. Unfortunately, Oriskany was bounced from the tournament this weekend.
All right, coming up, we'll talk about this Apple Worldwide Developers Conference. What is it going to mean? Some say they're coming out with a new headset that does the AI stuff. Oh
boy,
yeah. We'll see what he has to say. Evan Brown coming up in a few minutes.
Is it just a chip they plug in? Is it iPhone 27? You just plug in a chip to your brain?
Sure. That'll be. I think this is a gamer thing, though. That's coming out. We'll speak with Evan Brown in a few minutes. Also, Habaika's free money question of the day, and an update on someone that needed a lung transplant that we talked to a while back. And I believe a positive update that we're going to bring you here this morning. Coming up later on in the hour. 7:10 at WIBX.
I
can't take this kitchen any longer. Carl, we need to start looking for a new house.
Honey, you know the housing market is tight. It's going to be next to impossible to find something that we like.
I know, but this kitchen has to go.
Hey, what about a home equity loan from Adirondack Bank? We can turn the equity from our home into cash to renovate, just the way you want.
Renovate?
Adirondack Bank has competitive rates, and they've been a trusted community bank for decades.
A new kitchen. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Then, of course, we would need new furniture, and we could repair the deck, even add a pool, and take that trip to Italy that we've always talked about.
Whoa, slow down, honey. Let's go talk to the experts at Adirondack Bank about that home equity loan. Then we can decide where to start.
I've always wanted to add on a craft room, and our bathroom needs a facelift.
Don't move. Improve. Stop into your local Adirondack Bank branch for more information on a home equity loan or visit AdirondackBank.com. Bank local with Adirondack Bank, your hometown community bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
This is Harry G., the heat pump expert from Country Suburban. With New York State planning to eliminate fossil fuels, heat pumps are the wave of the future. Heat pumps can save you up to 30% or more on your heating and cooling bills. Right now, you can receive up to $20,000 in heat pump incentives. Call 315-735-5300 for a free estimate.
Offer good while funds are available.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about washing your car? Right now, you can get the Mayoral Ultimate Car Care Detailing 8-piece kit for only $25. That's soap, a wash mitt, wheel cleaner, tire shine, glass wipes, and interior wipes, all together in a bucket. Give your car the shine it deserves at the right price. Only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Home and Hospital Medical Supply and the New Hartford Shopping Center proudly carries a wide selection of home medical equipment. Lift chairs to buy or rent, canes, crutches, walkers, powered scooters, braces, foot care products, and so much more. And if for some reason they don't carry the product you need, they'll custom order it at no extra charge. Mary and her experienced team are there to assist you Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or call them 315-724-6767 and online at hnhmedicalny.com. Home and Hospital Medical Supplies, we make life easier.
Get ready for an evening of jaw-dropping illusions, mystifying mind magic, and hilarious routines when the legendary duo of magic, Penn and Teller, dispatch their favorite magicians to your town. Don't miss Penn and Teller's The Foolers, bringing TV's trickiest magicians live to the stage at the Stanley Theater for an unforgettable, unbelievable event on Saturday, September 16th. Get your tickets now at thestanley.org before they disappear, or call 315-724-4000.
Hey, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is accepting new patients. The Falcon Clinic is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, and they're accepting new patients right now. If you're in need of a family doctor, having issues with sleep or fatigue, pain, ADHD, or any other health issues, call the Falcon Clinic today and schedule an appointment. Dr. Shemaleski, Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Kosminski, and others all under one roof, whether it's counseling, acupuncture, or you're in need of a new family doctor. Reach out today. 315-507-4751, the Falcon Clinic. And as I said, accepting new patients. Dr. Shemaleski is hepatitis C certified. So if you're having fatigue, you're having aches and pains, and you don't know what it's coming from, it's possible that you've been carrying hep C for a good part of your life. If you're a baby boomer, they are most prevalent. You might want to get tested. It's 100% curable. Call today, 315-507-4751. If you're in need of a new family doctor, they're accepting patients today at the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Most people are not as obsessed with the Apple products as I am. Of course, Davey is now obsessed because he's now received his very first iPhone, and Davey's review is
awesome.
He loves it. Yeah, He can't get off it. In fact, he was just on it a second ago when I had to get his attention.
Yeah.
It's not easy. Today is their Worldwide Developers Conference. This is a big deal. Apple geeks are all about this. They'll log on at 1 o'clock today, watch it live. those who are there, the developers. It's where you find out where Apple is going and what new products are out there. To give us a little tease, Evan Brown from Fox News. Good morning.
Good morning.
I am one of those that puts it on
he is, Evan.
puts it on my calendar.
Yeah, me too.
I'm there for it. So
yeah, no, it's so much fun.
It is.
This is not the usual product unveiling that Apple will do, where they display the new iPhone and the new Macs and all that stuff. Although they are expected to actually display some new stuff today. But normally with Worldwide Developer Conference, what this is the unveiling of the latest or the coming latest version of the operating systems, things like iOS. So your new iPhone there, iOS is the software that runs it, right?
Yeah.
And so right now we're on version 16.5, I think, and there's a beta version out there for something like 16.6. But ultimately later this year we're going to get version 17.
Yeah.
So they will not only display all the cool new features, they'll actually show the developers who are in the room and who are watching exactly how to start building their apps or update their existing apps to work with iOS 17. And also that goes for iPad's OS 17 and the new latest versions of watchOS for the Apple Watch and for the Apple TV and blah, 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 blah. So, but for the rest of us who don't develop any apps, we at least get to see what our phones will be capable of doing going forward. And, of course, which phones would be too old to get the latest version of iOS.
This is a great, last year's, I think I was most impressed with Apple CarPlay and how we learned last year that future versions were going to basically would take over your whole dash. You could customize what your dash looks like. I thought that was pretty cool. And now today there's supposedly, I had said AI, but it's VR, virtual reality headset.
This is the big thing that everyone's been waiting for. You know, other companies have already had their headsets for both virtual reality, and so Apple has been long rumored to be working on one. It is expected that they will unveil it today. It is not merely just virtual reality; it is also augmented reality, which is where you can see the real world, but it can put things into the field of vision to make it appear as if it's there.
Yeah.
So, for instance, let's say you were buying furniture and you were walking through your empty house because you bought a new house. You could theoretically see the couch that you want to buy sitting in your living room by wearing these kinds of goggles. So,
because
pretty neat thing. They won't be cheap. I don't know what the price point is, but I'm pretty sure they won't be cheap. But this is the way of the future, they say.
And the other thing that is really interesting that makes today important, I think, is your iPhone. Apple does a great job of they're very careful about launching things. People complain, why haven't you launched this already? Well, they want to get it right so that it just works, and usually it does. But the beauty is it's already built. The technology is already built in your phone. When the new iOS comes out, it's pretty exciting because without it spending any money, it's in some cases, if it's a significant update, it's like having a brand new phone.
Yeah, often that is the case because you'll get new features that the phone is capable of doing. Of course, the next phone is often capable of doing those features better. Or using less battery power to do it, so on and so forth. Eventually, of course, phones do age out, and they no longer get full updates. I mean, they get security updates, but they don't get functional updates. And so you'll eventually want to get another phone.
Yeah.
But, I would say that you can get a few years, certainly, out of your iPhone. And some people get even, longer than that. So, I mean, they are investments. They are expensive. But I know many people that go without actually having a computer anymore, and they just use their phone for everything. So that's it kind of takes the place of it.
I do, and I know it's probably not going to happen here, but I think sometime in the future, your phone being able to charge, whether through Wi-Fi or charge itself, that is something that will be coming down the road, I really believe. But today we might see something big, and that is advancement in the removal of the password. That, I think, would be huge for people.
Well, certainly that has always been a big complaint that, forgetting passwords or something like that could essentially turn your phone into something unusable. In fact, I've got a relative who has an iPhone that's just a few years old that she can't use because she forgot the PIN code and the passcode and didn't set up the biometrics with the fingerprint or Face ID, whichever she has, and the phone doesn't do anything anymore. So the only thing she could do was create a secondary Apple ID and then use, get into the phone that way.
Right.
But then she doesn't have access to her photos or anything like that. So if there's anything that can help with that, that would be wonderful for a lot of people. But, remember your password, folks.
Yeah.
What else to say? In the year 2023, we should be used to remembering passwords.
You should be used to remembering passwords, there's no doubt. All right, 1 o'clock today, Eastern Time. Evan Brown, thank you. We appreciate the update. Enjoy it. I'm sure you will as much as I will. All right.
You got it.
Thanks so much. Evan Brown from Fox News. I feel a little geeky about it, but it is what it is. I always like to see what's coming out. And I got to tell you, the camera in the latest iPhone, and Davey was commenting on this the other day, and it's not just the iPhone, but others as well. I certainly prefer the iPhone. But the camera is so good.
Yeah.
It's just, it's so much better than what you used to spend. You might have spent $1,500, $2,000 on a camera. It's built right into your phone today. Pretty cool.
It is. And he mentioned augmented reality. I just wanted to say, you can imagine, for instance, you're in your living room and you're on the couch, and then all of a sudden you see like this animated character, but it's not reality. And you don't need special technology to do that. I hear all you have to do is smoke bath salts, and it's like augmented reality video games.
Yeah, that'll do it for you. Let's see. We were talking about, speaking of augmented reality, doing a colonoscopy without meds, without anesthesia.
Okay.
There are people that do it. It is a real thing. Some people do not want to be put under. Put away, put under.
Put under.
Yeah. Some people just don't want to go under anesthesia.
Put me away, doc.
And they choose to stay awake during that procedure. Boy, I don't know how you could do it. However, listen to this. Donna this morning said, I have never had Novocaine. Any of my fillings, I do it without Novocaine.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know how, Donna, you can pull it off. Because the pain is, some people are just deathly afraid of the dentist. But to do that without any bit of Novocaine, I don't know how you do it. She said she has never, and she has fillings. For the drilling, she has never had Novocaine. Wow. Pretty amazing.
That is amazing. So she's had a filling or she's had fillings? I mean, how many times have you done this, Donna?
I don't know the answer, but she said that she has never had Novocaine for her fillings. That's all.
Also, a comment.
All I can tell you.
A comment here that phone cameras are awesome, but they're not on par with a good DSLR. I know that that the phone camera that I have right now on this, I think this is a 13 or this is a 14 maybe, is way better than. I went and spent like $800 on a camera once about 10 years ago. My phone definitely gives me better pictures.
I get it. I think the latest iPhone for the average person can accomplish everything that and more than. And in fact, the video that can now be produced on the latest iPhone Pro, is I would have in order to get something equivalent, I would have to spend a ton of money to get a video camera to accomplish that. Pretty impressive.
A follow-up here. Wow, we have like a real-time conversation going on here. Dana says a 10-year-old camera isn't today's camera, and I agree. I was just using that as an example. But Matt also chiming in to say that DSLRs are obsolete. He says sound quality, now there's a weakness with the iPhone, I think he's saying.
Well, so I'll tell you something. I shoot video now on iPhone. And so I have made that move, and there is a difficulty that you cannot it's hard to get the audio into the iPhone. So when I shoot, I have a separate connected to the tripod. I have a separate recorder that I then have to sync the audio. So that is a bit of a pain in the neck. But I get top quality audio because I'm recording into an actual audio recorder in order to do it. Are we still having that real-time conversation?
The conversation
we could do it
seems
on
to
the
be
phone
over.
if they wanted to call in. I would be glad to answer those questions.
Absolutely.
At least what I do, anyway. The official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program, it's Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. If you're looking for the best coffee, it's Seattle's best, and available at Daylight Donuts. Also there, you'll find the fastest drive-thru you're going to find anywhere. You're not sitting and waiting all morning long. You're driving in. Maybe you're on your way to work. You got to get somewhere. You want to go in and out and be on your way. Fresh donuts, fresh bagels every single morning. It's Daylight Donuts in the village of New Hartford.
28 years ago, Lori Potasowicz had a dream. With a natural love for pets, she wanted to become an expert groomer. So she set out to become the area's only nationally certified master groomer and launched her business, one paw at a time. With grooming expertise and a lot of loving care, Lori and her talented team began caring for pets one paw at a time. Cuts, shampoos, and styling, one paw at a time. Teeth and nails with no detail overlooked from head to toe, one paw at a time. Getting to know each and every dog and cat by name, the One Paw at a Time family grew, and Lori had a decision to make. Keep expanding? She followed her heart and decided to keep the One Paw family atmosphere just the way it is, so she can keep taking care of the pets she knows and loves, one paw at a time. Lori and her team want to thank the families they serve for putting their trust in them to care for their four-legged family members, one paw at a time. 320 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro near Woods Road. One Paw appreciates your understanding for their current waiting list for new customers.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Text radio to 64,000 to try Babbel for free. That's radio to 64,000 to try Babbel free. RADIO to 64,000.
I can't take this kitchen any longer. Carl, we need to start looking for a new house.
Honey, you know the housing market is tight. It's going to be next to impossible to find something that we like.
I know, but this kitchen has to go.
Hey, what about a home equity loan from Adirondack Bank? We can turn the equity from our home into cash to renovate, just the way you want.
Renovate?
Adirondack Bank has competitive rates, and they've been a trusted community bank for decades.
A new kitchen. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Then, of course, we would need new furniture, and we could repair the deck, even add a pool, and take that trip to Italy that we've always talked about.
Whoa, slow down, honey. Let's go talk to the experts at Adirondack Bank about that home equity loan. Then we can decide where to start.
I've always wanted to add on a craft room, and our bathroom needs a facelift.
Don't move. Improve. Stop into your local Adirondack Bank branch for more information on a home equity loan or visit AdirondackBank.com. Bank local with Adirondack Bank, your hometown community bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
If you have an IRA or 401k,
when it comes to pools and spas, only one name will do. Tucker Backyard, now at their new location, 8086 Seneca Turnpike, Clinton, 1 mile west of Big Apple Plaza. Online at tuckerbackyard.com. Come visit our new and much larger facility, giving us the ability to serve all of our customers and potential customers even better. Need your water tested? Need chemicals? Maybe you're considering a new pool or spa? Then come see us today. We have a full line of both pools and spas to choose from, with many on display, including the low-maintenance fiberglass pool. Check out our unique indoor showroom, including 3 fully functional pools, giving you a full hands-on experience when purchasing from Tucker Backyard. We look forward to serving you from our brand new facility, Tucker Backyard Pools and Spa. 8086 Seneca Turnpike, 1 mile west of Big Apple Plaza. Online at tuckerbackyard.com. We bring the fun to your backyard.
If you have an IRA or 401k, please listen closely. My name is Jason Hansen. I'm a former CIA officer and New York Times bestselling author. Throughout my career, let's just say I've been in some hairy situations. And I believe right now the biggest threat facing Americans is they need to protect their wealth, which is exactly what I'm doing for my wife and 6 kids. And I believe the ultimate safe haven is physical gold and silver. You can protect your hard-earned retirement assets with a tax-free loophole that allows you to convert your retirement into physical gold and silver. The folks I use are Advantage Gold, and believe me, I've investigated the heck out of all types of people. Advantage Gold is the nation's highest-rated gold company. They have the best process, pricing, and service. If you want to get your free gold and silver investment kit, please contact Advantage Gold right now, and you'll see how easy it is to protect yourself with precious metals. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Call 800-900-8000.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
Listen, Fred F. Collison Sons Heating, Cooling, and Insulation right now during this time of year is the time to start thinking about the bad weather. But also, man, we've gotten a taste of what hot weather can be like early. And it might be time to think about making sure your AC is up and running, or if you don't have it, what are you going to do? Now, if you have ductwork in your home but no AC, no central air, it's an easy fix. Central air becomes an easy fix. Contact Collis. But if you don't, there are many options out there, including mini split systems. In fact, I think we have one of those right here in this studio. It's nice and quiet, which it would have to be here in studio. And it is efficient, and it's able to cool and heat your entire home. The many rebates that are available out there through New York State, Collis can help you take advantage of them as well. And customers enjoy these rebate incentive savings in addition to energy efficiency and cost-saving measures that you take, such as mini splits. You can save money. Contact Collis for expert assistance in navigating through all of these rebates that are out there. Reach out to Collis at 315-768-2323 or online, fredfcollis.com for more information on cooling options for your home. As always, Collis offers free estimates, free home energy assessments. We had this done in our home, and they showed us where we were losing money. And money coming right out your windows or out through insulation or what have you.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I remember when we were adding the unit here in this studio, the concern was, and you said, we can't have that in there. We're doing a live talk show. You
Correct.
Can't have it. You can't hear it, though.
You cannot hear it. And one of the biggest problems with air conditioning in a radio studio, the old window air conditioners, if you didn't have central air, the studios, you couldn't run them because you certainly couldn't do a talk show. So what would happen is the minute the commercial break would come on, hurry up, turn on the air conditioner, and cool the studio off. Here, we do not have that issue. It is, I will tell you that prior to the system we have in here, prior to this, it was always just hot. It just didn't work.
Very stagnant.
A stagnant studio, trust me. Call them today. Reach out to Collis at 315-768-2323 or visit them online, fredfcollis.com.
Bill, we have mostly cloudy skies and now 49 degrees, although I'm getting a conflicting temperature here. We are at 52 degrees. WYBX News Time 7:34. This news update is brought to you by My Carl's. Buy one, get one half off. Buy a bedroom set, get a sofa half off. The list goes on and on. Shop today and save. Same-day pickup or delivery. Shop My Carl's, New Hartford Shopping Center, and Destiny USA. Well, this sounds like a big story, but we'll see later today. The FBI is expected to bring a document to Capitol Hill today that allegedly describes a $5 million criminal bribery scheme involving President Joe Biden and a foreign national. This after Republican House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer of Kentucky threatens to hold FBI Director Christopher Wray in contempt of Congress. Comer has long suspected it will prove Biden's scheme, but Democrats say it's a political stunt that will prove nothing. The body of one of 3 men missing following a recent partial apartment building collapse in Davenport, Iowa, has been found. 42-year-old Brandon Colvin Sr.'s remains have been located. The city is not saying exactly where in the building those remains were found. Ukraine's ambassador to the U.S. is not giving an exact timetable, but she does say a counteroffensive against Russia will happen, quote, soon. Oksana Markarova said on CBS's Face the Nation that Ukrainian President Zelensky won't make an official announcement when that occurs. The Miami Heat put together a strong fourth quarter and pulled out a 111-108 victory in Game 2 of the NBA Finals. The series now knotted at 1 game apiece. Game 3 is coming up in Miami on Wednesday. The opening bell rings this morning after there was a winning week on Wall Street. Stocks rallied Friday after a strong jobs report and passage of a deal to raise the debt ceiling, avoiding a U.S. default. At the closing bell on Friday, the Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 701 points to 33,762. The S&P 500 added 61, and the Nasdaq rose 139 points. And a new report from the U.S. Postal Service shows that mail carriers have a reason to be cautious of man's best friend. The USPS reports that more than 5,300 postal workers were attacked by dogs last year. Houston, Texas had the highest number of dog attacks on UPS workers last year with a total of 57. You think this is a shark bite story? There's 53,000 dog attacks.
Could be. It's a clickbait story.
Could be. Your WIBX Weather Center forecast has something that you rarely see in a forecast, at least for us. Widespread haze after 3 p.m. today, partly sunny with a high of 75. Here's what I mean specifically. A chance of rain showers and thunderstorms this evening and overnight tonight. Widespread haze before midnight with patchy smoke before 9 p.m., then patchy smoke after midnight. Overnight, partly cloudy with some smoke and a low of 52. Tuesday, slight chance of rain and thunderstorms early, then late morning rain showers possible. Again, patchy smoke on Tuesday. Otherwise, mostly sunny with a high of 73. Chance of rain showers Wednesday. Also a chance we could see some sunshine with a high of 70. Thursday, chance of showers with a high of 68. So a bit of a cool-off here as we were into the low 90s last week.
We might get some rain, much needed.
The neighbor pulled out the inflatable projection screen.
Nice.
On Friday. And so my son and I went over, and we had like a little movie theater set up, or they had a movie theater set up, and the kids got to watch an animated movie, and it was fun. But I was out there, we were out there, sweatpants, sweatshirt, it felt like it was freezing on Friday night, going from 90, whatever it was.
Do you know the one thing, and this is like our free money question, but it'll be just for you.
Okay.
Have you noticed what's missing?
Have I noticed what's dandelions? No.
Have you noticed what's missing in the nighttime? Have you noticed what's missing around here in the nighttime?
The moon?
No. It was a full moon, I think, this past weekend.
Yeah. Actually, my son, when we were watching the movie, made a comment about the moon hiding behind a house.
What is missing? Mosquitoes.
Oh, well.
We're enjoying a real time here with low rain levels. The mosquitoes don't spread. There may be some out there. I'm not saying they're not out there, but you're not being swarmed like you will when it's hot, humid, and rainy.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they multiply. So we're getting some mosquito relief.
Yes.
Early on.
And grateful for it.
Tick relief, not so much. There's apparently a new disease that ticks in the Northeast are carrying that could be fatal to some people. We'll talk with Dr. Hall about that coming up tomorrow.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they're now feeding on, there's a special certain type of bait that they use to get them. It's called clickbait. I thought that's what
anything
it was.
is possible. Anything is possible. All right, let's do, we have a streak going right now. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we had $100 winners last week. 3 days in a row. Can we make it 4 to start off the week? Davey, this morning, keep it low. You're looking for caller number what?
4.
Fourth caller through the phone lines. Chance to win $100, and let's see if we can make it 4 in a row. I have a doozy of a question. We'll do it next. Call 315-736-0186 right now. Fourth caller plays the game from the Hobica Law Firm.
The streaking Bill Keeler. Be caller 4 now.
We're streaking all over the place. 7:40. Hold tight. We'll come right back at WIBX.
Get ready for an evening of jaw-dropping illusions, mystifying mind magic, and hilarious routines when the legendary duo of Magic, Penn and Teller dispatch their favorite magicians to your town. Don't miss Penn and Teller's The Foolers, bringing TV's trickiest magicians live to the stage at the Stanley Theater for an unforgettable, unbelievable event on Saturday, September 16th. Get your tickets now at thestanley.org before they disappear, or call 315-724-4000.
Buy direct from the manufacturer and make a splash with a new spa from Strong Spas, now open in Sangertown Square. Choose from over 100 ready-to-deliver spas in stock with new inventory weekly and prices slashed to move fast. Visit the largest spa showroom in New York State and ask about their many financing options. You have to see this showroom to believe it. Strong Spas. Experience the difference in person. Sangertown Square, New Hartford, or online at strongspas.com. Hurry, these spas won't last.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley will soon be home to New York State's newest state-of-the-art medical center, the Wynn Hospital. But healthcare transformation is already underway. At MVHS, we're bringing talented, highly skilled healthcare professionals from around the country to our region. In the past year, MVHS has hired more than 60 new doctors and mid-level providers, and recruiting continues throughout the Northeast for nurses, physical therapists, radiology techs, lab positions, and more. Plus, the MVHS Medical Education Division is already bringing more physicians in training and medical students to our area through new residency programs and medical school partnerships. Today, we have 45 residents and 35 medical students doing their training at MVHS. By 2027, there will be more than 200 physician learners at the Wynn Hospital and other MVHS campuses. Our focus is on caring for our community with the best and brightest teams of caregivers, now and in the future. Mohawk Valley Health System. This is for you.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, let's do our free money question of the day, and Pat's ready to come in and walk away. Winner. It comes from the Hobica Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobica, at 315-724-1600. Pat is in New Hartford. Hello, Pat. Good morning.
Hey, morning. How are you guys?
Good. You ready to go?
Pat, we want to give you $100.
Yeah, let's end the streak today.
Let's end the streak. Let's keep the streak going. Come on, man. You can do it. Here we go. Here we go with your question. You'll have 7 seconds, as you know. Here it is. What? Oh, you want to end the streak of losing.
Yeah.
Okay, but keep in mind, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of last week we had winners. So this would be...
We get to split that money, or...
well, no, you're going to get your own when you get this question right. Okay, here we go.
Here we go. You can do this.
You can do this. Sorry about that. All right, here's your question. What was the first instrument Beatle John Lennon learned how to play? Ready, go.
Boy, I'm going to say violin.
That was my answer. No. I had this question posed to me, and I said I believe it was a violin. And the answer is no. Turns out, you want to guess?
A recorder?
A recorder. That might be. It might be. Didn't
Isn't
we
that
all?
everyone's first?
Yeah. I'm not sure they were doing that in the 40s in Great Britain, in England. Here we go. The answer is banjo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I was quite surprised by that too. All right, here we go. Yeah. We're going to give you the you've broken the streak, but kept your streak going. Not what we intended.
Exciting.
Exciting. Utica All-in-One Food and Fun card. It's a $25 gift card good at Aquavino in New Hartford. Babes, 72 Tavern and Grill, the Tailor and the Cook, and any of the concession stands at Adirondack Bank Center and Nexus. And remember, tomorrow at Cookies Q and Creamery, it's 2 for $2. 2 hot dogs for $2. Cookies at Palm Springs right over here. The miniature golf, and, of course, on North Genesee Street in Utica. Pat, stand by. Davey's going to hook you up. Thank you, man.
Thanks,
All
guys.
right. Pat, taking the shot.
Can you get anything for $1 anywhere anymore? I mean, other than tomorrow, you can get 2 hot dogs for $2 at.
Well,
Cookies?
that's not even $1, right? Even the dollar stores today aren't $1.
No.
Right? Yeah.
And-
But doesn't McDonald's every once in a while have something on their buck menu where you can get something for $1?
Not anymore.
Not
I mean,
anymore.
I for years for lunch on the go. My on the go lunch for years was the McChicken, McDouble. 12 years ago they were each $1. I think the McChicken's now like $1.69. The McDouble might be $1.89 or it might be over $2. But yeah, you can't really get anything for $1 anymore.
When I was a kid, we would go to Caroga Lake at the amusement park there.
Okay.
All children and families, the children of people who worked at Remington Arms, they would all go to Caroga Lake. And you'd wait in line, you'd go through, and everybody would get a crisp dollar bill.
Really?
Yeah. Today, you'd have to give out the kids. You'd have to give them 20.
You'd have to give them a 20.
You'd have to
You
give them a
would.
20. Yeah.
You'd have to give them a
that
20.
dollar went a long way back then. It was crisp. It just came from the bank. It was a beautiful. Every year, always look forward to the dollar bill.
It was like a little campsite, and they'd pay.
No, it was an amusement park.
Oh, it was an amusement
Yeah,
park.
Caroga Lake.
And it was an actual dollar. It wasn't like
Yep,
it wasn't
it was-
like a Caroga Lake buck.
It was Remington Arms Day, and Remington gave out the dollar bill.
Wow, that's really cool.
Today, they, the way things are going at Remington, they'd be giving you a penny. Each kid gets their own penny. Okay, we have a really incredible story. We got into this a few years ago when Francesca McGee, who lived here, grew up here, but was born with a thing called pulmonary fibrosis. She was set to be listed on the transplant list at the age of 7, but miraculously her disease improved. And between the ages of 7 and 28, she lived a normal life. But at age 28, the problem came back. And when we first spoke with her mom, and this goes back to maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, she was on the transplant list, and they were raising money to assist her. And actually, they had convinced her to move to North Carolina, and Durham, and specifically near Duke University Hospital, where she would be close. So if lungs, she needed a lung transplant. If lungs became available, she'd be there. She'd be ready. She'd have the transplant.
Be like a patient on call.
This is the life that people on the transplant list live. And we wanted to give a little update on her story, and she's on the line right now. Francesca, good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you, Bill?
Good. Did I get? I tried to do the setup here. Did I get it right?
Yes, you got it right. That's pretty much what happened. I did get my transplant last year, May 12th of 2022, at Duke University Hospital, which they are absolutely incredible.
I can imagine,
all of the doctors, the nurses, the staff, just everyone. I can't even explain how it was, but it's been quite the journey, to say the least.
So this story, though, goes even deeper, and I think that unless you've been through the transplant process, we wouldn't understand. But there are people involved, right? So the doctors, but beyond that, you receive the transplant, the lungs from someone.
Yes, I did. I have been very, very, very fortunate and blessed to. I was able to find out who my lung transplant donor was, and I also had the most amazing honor of meeting his parents. Their names are Vicki and Tony Maynor. They are from Maryville, Tennessee, and they are just two of the most beautiful, kind, just beautiful, beautiful people. Yeah. And their son, Bradley, who was an only child, he was my organ donor, and I now have his beautiful, healthy lungs, and I've been doing incredible thanks to them.
So when he passed away, he was in his early 30s, right?
Yes, he was 33 when he passed away.
And for them, and I say this, that if you have gone through it, you understand it. If you haven't, we don't think about these things. But for them, their son is living on.
Yes, they said that. They say that very frequently, actually. And when we met them, it was my 1-year anniversary. It was May 12th of this year, and it was also the weekend of Mother's Day. So we were able to spend that with them, and they kept saying, our son is living on through you, even though he's not physically here anymore, he is here in spirit through you.
Wow.
And it was amazing. I mean, it was a beautiful experience. And, the crazy part is, it's not really crazy, but when we met them, obviously I was very, very nervous. But as soon as I met them and I hugged them, I didn't just view them as my donor's parents.
Yeah.
I viewed them as Vicky and Tony that I felt like I had known forever.
Wow.
And I've said it over and over again since meeting them. If I had the choice to pick, people to donate or to give me the gift of life, I would have chose Vicky and Tony and Bradley as my donor.
Wow.
Because they're they're beautiful people.
So,
and we have a bond now that is just, will always be forever.
Yeah.
And this is a story that not what you've been able to go through here is not something that everyone. You don't always find out who your donor is.
No, unfortunately, there are people out there, who have been years post-transplant, no matter what type of organ they received, and unfortunately, they don't know. And I was actually very nervous about that because I had actually reached out to them around Christmas time last year. I had wrote a letter, and we were waiting to hear back from them. And when I didn't hear back from them, I, said to my mom and my family and my friends, I'm like, well, maybe they don't want to meet me right now. They're not ready. And, that's something as difficult as it is, you have to respect that.
Yeah.
Because depending on how the person had passed or what the circumstances were, there are just, families out there who don't want to know.
But in this case, they
in my case, I'm very lucky. And they were ready from what they had told us the day that they found out that Bradley's lungs, were donated. They wanted to come and meet me right away.
Wow.
But obviously they had no idea who I was, and we had no idea who they were. But they had said to my mom and I, we were ready to drive from Tennessee and meet you, because they did know that his lungs went to North Carolina.
Okay.
They just didn't know who they went to.
Wow. So what a great story. Really an incredible story. And so how are you? How are you doing?
Oh, I am amazing. I mean, it's crazy because, you literally, you take a lot of small things for granted.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'll be honest, I was one of those people, before I had gotten sick in 2019. And now just looking back on everything that, I've gone through and have had to do, it just, I would do it again. I would do it again. And it's all about quality of life, and it's about breathing and not have to worry about, if I can make it to the front door without feeling like I'm going to pass out.
Wow.
It's about not, worrying about oxygen tanks and if I'm going to have enough, if I have to go out and go somewhere, and, just getting in my car and driving to somewhere as easy as the grocery store or the gas station. And it's amazing. And, just being able to breathe on your own and not having to depend on a device, such as oxygen. It's truly, truly amazing.
Wow.
And I'm so blessed, and I'm so grateful, for all of the love and support of the community, over these last 4 years, and the benefit, that we had back in 2021, and just the amount of people that came out and showed support for me. I mean, that alone, I think, was more overwhelming than getting the actual transplant.
Wow.
I mean, and just having people come together for you is just, it's wild. Like, it's really, really wild, but in a good way.
Yeah.
In a very good way.
That's awesome.
So I just want to say thank you to everyone again, that has been in my arena, in my circle. And, my mom and I were just so incredibly thankful to all of you.
Well, your mom moved down there with you to North Carolina,
yes,
right?
Did.
Yeah.
Yep, my mother was with me every single step of the way.
Yeah.
We're quite the dream team, if you wanna
That's
if
awesome.
you wanna say that. We're quite the team, her and I.
I have Tom in Utica that wants to comment. Tom, you're on with Francesca.
Yeah. My father died of pulmonary fibrosis. There's a slang term for it. It's called farmer's lung. And he made it a long way through life. It didn't really affect him until the latter part of his life, and then it just kind of raged on and got him. He was a very strong kid. He was a football player, so he got good pulmonary and heart strength. But there's two different kinds of the pulmonary hardenings. There's a pulmonary fibrosis, which is the internals, and there's pleural fibrosis, in which the outside of the lung gets hardened.
Okay.
So there's two ways of going at it. But as far as this is wonderful to hear a personal story of lung transplants, because we helped out with the League of Women Voters for several years in signing up for people to donate their organs. New York State started off as either one or two in the nation for demand for organ transplants, and as far as organ donations, we were 50th out of 54 U.S. territories and states.
Wow.
We were the biggest demand and the least willing to give them up. Now, with a big push by Donate Life and some other organizations like the League of Women Voters Helping, it's changed, and we're down to we've improved both positions tremendously.
Nice.
And we're happy about that. If you want to look that up, I haven't done that recently to see how much we have. But we made it. We made a big difference.
All right, nice job, Tom. That's a great thing, and to hear Francesca's story is just this is all of the work, all of what everyone has done is this is what it results in.
Home. It makes us feel good about what we're doing.
Yeah. All right.
It's not a theory.
Thank you, Tom.
No, it's not. You're 100% right. It's not.
Well, listen, Francesca, your story is wonderful, and
Thank you.
This is one thing this is a community, a very giving community.
Absolutely.
But it sounds like you also earned it, and people just thought the world of you, and they all came out, and so.
Yes, and I thank each and every one of you that is listening and that's been involved, and I'm just so incredibly grateful, and I hope that this was maybe a little bit of a push to urge people to maybe become organ donors. Obviously it's a choice, but organ donation is very, very, very important, and it's not just for lungs. I mean, it's for, any organ. And, like I said, it was a very long wait for me. I did wait a very long time, but the wait was obviously worth it because now I have my beautiful lungs. Again, thanks to Vicki and Tony and, our superhero donor, Bradley. And organ donation, yes, is very, very important. So if you can go out and register, that's amazing.
Francesca, thank you for the update.
Thank you.
We are so happy for you.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you. And I appreciate you having me on the show for a follow-up.
Thank you so much. All right.
All right.
Good
take care.
news.
All right. Bye-bye.
It's not often that we are able to focus on good news, right?
I know.
But what a great story. And it's also not often where you have the the opportunity that she had to meet the parents who went through their sacrifice, and now their son's lungs live on, and Francesca. And the other part is, for all of us, we got to remember, we take just being able to breathe
for granted. All the time.
And, we're probably not the greatest when it comes to treating our bodies. Got a break. WIBX Utica Rome. It's 8 o'clock.
The sky went boom over Washington. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It was a sonic boom when F-16 fighter jets were scrambled to intercept a small plane that turned around while flying from Tennessee to New York, then violated D.C. airspace.
The pilot of the Cessna Citation was unresponsive, crashing before 4 p.m. again in central Virginia, according to state police.
The plane went down in a mountainous area with 4 people on board. No survivors were found last night.
Barbara Rumpel, who owned the plane with her husband John, wrote on Facebook one devastating line here: "My family is gone, my daughter and granddaughter." John Rumpel told the New York Times that his granddaughter's nanny was also on board with his granddaughter, who's about 2 years old, his daughter, along with the pilot. Now, he theorized that the plane may have lost cabin pressure, rendering all on board unconscious.
That's Fox's Alexandria Hoff. In India, investigators are probing a possible signaling failure as the cause for Friday's train crash, as victims' relatives try to locate and ID loved ones. 275 people were killed. Most of the bodies were left charred or unrecognizable. Russia claims for a second day Ukraine's forces are on the attack in areas Russia took control of in the invasion. Fox's Jonathan Savage reports.
These claims by Russia are unverified, and it's not clear whether we're seeing the start of the counteroffensive Ukraine has been promising for months. But a video released by the Russians appears to show military vehicles coming under heavy fire. Moscow says it's killed 250 Ukrainian troops.
Ukraine calls that misinformation. President Biden will today meet with the Prime Minister of Denmark, a NATO ally that may provide fighter jets to Ukraine. There's worry gas could cost more because of this.
Saudi Arabia says it's cutting its global oil supply by 1 million barrels per day. It starts in July. This comes as other OPEC producers are preparing to meet in Vienna this week to extended earlier production cuts into next year.
That's Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer. America's listening to Fox News.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation delivers on its promise to do good and never forget the sacrifices of America's greatest heroes. Heroes like Marine Corps Corporal Seth Rasmussen, who lost his life in an Osprey aircraft crash. Tunnel to Towers immediately stepped in to provide his wife and infant son with a mortgage-free home. Help the families of heroes like Seth get through the worst times in their lives. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
The Dell Technologies Summer Sale event starts now with limited quantity deals on select performance PCs with Windows 11 Pro. Save on select Vostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Save on essential accessories, plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. Offered to business customers by WebBank, who determines qualifications for and terms of credit.
We have some clouds and 56 degrees. WIBX News Time is 8:03. This news update is brought to you by the Forgo Agency. Celebrate Flag Day with a flag exchange. Bring your old American flag to the Forgo Agency June 13th and 14th to exchange it for a brand new one. Authorities continue to investigate a fatal ATV accident that occurred over the weekend. It happened at a private property on Stone Road in the town of Bridgewater. Authorities say the group was operating a side-by-side ATV. The driver, Jeffrey Dickinson of Ilion, was driving the vehicle when he attempted to make a turn. It flipped onto its roof. 3 of the passengers were not seriously injured. However, one, Victoria Dickinson, a 29-year-old from Ilion, was partially ejected and was pronounced dead at the scene. Authorities are investigating that crash. More on that on our website. State lawmakers heading back to the Capitol today to begin the final few days of this year's legislative session. One bill still being debated is called the Clean Slate Act, which would allow some individuals who have completed their sentences to have criminal records sealed after a certain amount of time. There's also an ongoing push to pass good cause eviction legislation to limit the power of landlords to evict tenants. The legislative session is scheduled to end on Thursday. Central New York drivers seeing consistent prices at the pump as the cost of gas is mostly holding steady. According to AAA, the average cost for a gallon of regular fuel in the Utica Rome market is at $3.70 a gallon. It's about the same as it was last week. Currently, the statewide average is also at $3.70 a gallon. Nationally, it is at $3.55. The New York State Thruway Authority holding a virtual public hearing later today to get feedback from Empire State residents on proposed toll hikes. I have a question. The feedback from state residents on the proposed toll hikes. Does anyone say, I think this is a good idea? Is the feedback ever, yes? You know, don't raise it 5%, raise it 12%.
Yes. Yes.
The meeting is scheduled to run from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. It'll be streamed online through the Thruway's website. Anyone who wants to take part in the hearing needs to register in advance. If the hikes are approved, which I'd bet you my bottom dollar they will be, Easy Pass holders will see a 5% toll increase next year, followed by another 5% hike in 2027. Something you may have never heard before in the forecast. Okay, we have partly cloudy skies right now, 56 degrees. Widespread haze possible after 3 p.m., otherwise partly sunny today with a high of 75. That's not what I was talking about. A chance of rain showers and thunderstorms tonight, mainly before 2 a.m., widespread haze before midnight, patchy smoke. The forecast actually calling for patchy smoke before 9 p.m., then patchy smoke possible after midnight, an overnight low of 52. Tuesday, slight chance of rain and thunderstorms before 8 a.m., then late morning showers possible as well. Once again, patchy smoke.
I wonder if see, we have had this happen before. The California wildfires, and it went over, and they'd say that, you would have seen blue skies, but a lot of that, the haziness is coming from the wildfires. This is coming out of Canada, and I wonder if this seems different, though. It seems like it's settling more, that it's more of a fog than it is something you'd see up into a hazy sky. I don't know, and I wonder, can you smell it? Would you smell the smell of fire? I can't imagine you would, but
that
why not?
Campfire smell.
Yeah, why not? I smelled a campfire smell yesterday, but I think it was my neighbors.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Well, you have to be careful out there with the dry grass.
It's not a good time to be having fires.
Because
the grass alone is ready to go up.
I had a little fire Friday night, but I soaked the ground area before I lit it up. So,
okay.
Yeah, it could be dangerous. We have cloudy skies, 56 degrees. WIBX News Time is coming up on 8:08. Quick check on sports here. We've got two local teams still alive in the state baseball and softball playoffs. On the girls' side, softball Class D, New York Mills. No, that's Poland. Poland is headed to the semis. And in Class C baseball, is it Class C for Little Falls?
Baseball, Class C.
They are headed to the semis as well. Unfortunately, this weekend in Class D for the boys, Riskany was knocked out of action over the weekend. Also knocked out of action over the weekend, the Mets. They were swept by the Blue Jays. Sunday's final 6-4. The Mets did have 4 home runs in the defeat. Pete Alonso, Starling Marte, and 2 from Tommy Pham. The Mets, though, dropped to 30-30. They're off tonight. They will open up a series in Atlanta against the Braves beginning tomorrow night. The Yankees are also off tonight. This after claiming the rubber match in their series against the Dodgers. 4-1 was your final. Domingo Germán started. He got 6 strikeouts, allowing 1 run over 6 2/3. Clay Holmes was credited with the victory after striking out 2 in a scoreless inning of relief. The Yankees now third in the AL East at 36-25. Again, they're off tonight. They return home to welcome the White Sox to the Bronx tomorrow night. Anthony Volpe with the big hit last night, his 9th home run of the season. Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges both will play for Team USA in the upcoming FIBA World Cup. Also want to mention here, Norma Hunt, the wife of Kansas City Chiefs founder, Lamar Hunt, has passed away. The franchise announcing Sunday that the woman who had been dubbed the First Lady of Football passed away at the age of 85. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell saying in a statement that Norma was one of the most passionate fans of the Chiefs and the NFL and understood and enjoyed every aspect of the game. She was the only woman to attend every Super Bowl. The Golden Knights are hoping to take a commanding 2-0 series lead against the Panthers in the Stanley Cup Final from Vegas tonight. The Knights coming off their Game 1 5-2 victory. Florida's Matthew Tkachuk had a bad turnover, which led to Stone's goal to make the game 4-2. That was in Friday's action. But again, Game 2 of that series coming up tonight. This weekend, Victor Hovland won the Memorial Tournament in a playoff. It was kind of a tough ending. Denny McCarthy had a chance to win it, but missed a rather long putt, and then it went to a playoff, and he fell. Kyle Busch took home the checkered flag at the Enjoy Illinois 300 for his third NASCAR Cup Series victory of the season.
So over the weekend, in Class D, Oriskany lost 3-0 to Deposit Hancock.
Mm-hmm.
And then Little Falls they're now 20-3. They'll go up against Section 1, Tuckahoe, in the Class C state semifinal at 5 p.m. this Friday at Maine Endwell High School.
All's well that end well.
Never ends well at Maine Endwell.
Yeah.
I always feel like it never ends well there.
So they're the Final Four.
It's semifinals, yeah.
Semifinals, yeah. And then same thing for the girls team in softball, Poland. I think they're also in the Final Four. So congratulations to the young men and young women. I hope you both bring back a state championship this weekend next weekend.
I have if you're looking to, I'm always on a diet. Well, it's debatable. Right?
You're always getting off your diet.
I'm always blowing a diet. That we probably should say more accurately. But I'm always on it and always trying. There is a story about a guy who lost 60 pounds. And now I'm trying to find the story. He lost 60 pounds on, guess what his diet is?
A beer diet? A whiskey diet?
It is the McDonald's diet.
No. What is it? Go ahead.
I love this. This may be my new diet.
What does he eat once a day?
A Nashville grandfather lost almost 60 pounds by eating McDonald's for 100 days straight. Here's Kevin McGinnis explaining exactly, as I don't know, how does he do it?
Okay.
Here he is explaining exactly how he did it.
I woke up this morning and I weighed in at 238 pounds, and I decided that is absolutely unacceptable. So I drove down to McDonald's. I'm going to eat nothing but McDonald's for the next 100 days. But instead of eating everything they give me, I'm going to go ahead and cut the meals in half.
Oh. He cut them in half.
Okay.
I think I'd still gain weight.
I think I would too. That's a lot of saturated fat.
It
and
is.
A lot of sugar.
It is.
A lot of sodium.
It is every single day. It's probably not. I wonder where his cholesterol is.
Yeah.
Because, the reality is it's everything in moderation, right?
Right,
Isn't that what
right.
it's supposed to be?
Mm-hmm.
But maybe he's on a cholesterol medicine, so he's not worrying about it. I don't know. But he lost 60 pounds in 100 days, and the only place he ate was McDonald's.
Okay, now there should be a disclaimer on this as it makes its way around the web. First of all, do not try this at home. Second of all, I mentioned the sodium. That really makes your body retain water.
Right. Could be high blood pressure. Who knows?
Yeah. So
but it worked for him.
It seems to be working.
Him.
I think people are going to, stupid people are going to say, hey, this is, no offense, this is the answer. This is how I lose weight. And I think it's really unhealthy. It's like saying, who's the guy?
People going after all these fad diets. It's just, I'm probably one of them. It's not the smartest thing in the world to do.
Who's the guy? He's one of the 80-year-old rock legends, and he's notorious for doing drugs throughout his whole life. I mean, hard stuff, heroin, meth.
Well, you're talking about so many right now.
What is it? Keith Richards.
Keith Richards. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. He's gotten away with it, but I don't think people should look at that and go, what I need is and fill in this drug and fill in this drug and fill in this drug.
Has he done meth? I don't ever remember.
Well, I don't know about meth, but heroin. That's horrible stuff.
I imagine. Yeah. I know it's horrible.
He's been a lifelong drug user, and that usually is not a winning longevity formula for people.
A good diet.
So don't. I'm just saying, just like you don't look at him and say, I need more of whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
Because you probably don't. This guy lost 60 pounds at McDonald's. I don't think this works for everybody. Matter of fact, I know it doesn't.
60 pounds at McDonald's, eating there every single day for 100 days. And on the 101st day he went through the drive-thru, the manager came out and said, no, you deserve a break today. Get away. Sorry.
Get out of here.
Got a break. It's 8:14 at WIBX.
Spring is on the way, and if you're looking to make the most of it in a new RV, camper, boat, or trailer, then look to Mohawk Valley FCU. Right now, you can get up to 120-month financing for as low as 5.74% APR for any new recreation vehicle. That's 120 months of financing for as low as 5.74% APR. Go to MohawkValleyFCU.org for more info and to apply today. Mohawk Valley FCU, member-focused, member-driven.
Home and Hospital Medical Supply in the New Hartford Shopping Center proudly carries a wide selection of home medical equipment. Lift chairs to buy or rent, canes, crutches, walkers, powered scooters, braces, foot care products, and so much more. And if for some reason they don't carry the product you need, they'll custom order it at no extra charge. Mary and her experienced team are there to assist you Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or call them 315-724-6767 and online at HNHMedicalNY.com. Home and Hospital Medical Supplies, we make life easier.
I can't take this kitchen any longer. Carl, we need to start looking for a new house.
Honey, you know the housing market is tight. It's going to be next to impossible to find something that we like.
I know, but this kitchen has to go.
Hey, what about a home equity loan from Adirondack Bank? We can turn the equity from our home into cash to renovate, just the way you want.
Renovate?
Adirondack Bank has competitive rates, and they've been a trusted community bank for decades.
A new kitchen. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Then, of course, we would need new furniture, and we could repair the deck, even add a pool, and take that trip to Italy that we've always talked about.
Whoa, slow down, honey. Let's go talk to the experts at Adirondack Bank about that home equity loan. Then we can decide where to start.
I've always wanted to add on a craft room, and our bathroom needs a facelift.
Don't move. Improve. Stop into your local Adirondack Bank branch for more information on a home equity loan or visit AdirondackBank.com. Bank local with Adirondack Bank, your hometown community bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
More and more people are turning to Wheelock Disposal for their trash pickup and recyclables. Let's hear from their happy customers why they love Wheelock Disposal service. Here's Mike in Whitesboro.
So why am I a customer of Wheelock Disposal? We've been a customer for approximately 12 years. They pick up our garbage on time. The cans are always put back up right. Any garbage that has fallen out, they pick up. I drive for a living, so I'm in a lot of different neighborhoods, and I see their trucks doing the same thing. Their drivers are professional drivers and do a great job, and that's why we love Wheelock Disposal.
And now, let's hear from Dick in New Hartford.
Hi, I'm Dick Timpano. Why do I love Wheelock Disposal? Because it's easy to bring my garbage to the curb. Their friendliness, their cleanliness, and the responsibility they have to pick up my trash on time is incredible. That's why I love Wheelock Disposal.
Wheelock Disposal Service has a special introductory offer for all new customers. Check out WheelockDisposal.com. We love garbage.
Hey, River Hills Properties is the fastest growing real estate company in central New York and all over the area, throughout the region, Utica, Rome, the Valley, the North Country. It's River Hills Properties. And it is about the services that they provide. The extra services, all the extra things they do to relieve the stress in your life when selling a home. Selling a home or property can be very stressful. Having a team with you, an assistant that's with you every step of the way, just makes life that much easier. At River Hills Properties, it is for every single customer. If your home is being shown, your listing agent is there. If people are walking through your house, your listing agent is there to answer questions, keep an eye on the property for you. They're with you from the very start till the very end. They have offices in Barnaville, Little Falls, and Utica. Online, it's riverhillspropertiesllc.com. Call 315-896-1009. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Here's another one for you. Here's a little question. I know you want to go somewhere with Davey. You're going to take that toaster oven, right?
Yes,
I might.
You might as well. Here, come get my key and take it out of the trunk. Bring it in here. You can see it.
You got it here already?
Would you go grab it? Yeah, I knew you'd take it, so I brought it.
How'd you know I was going to take it?
I knew you would. I could see in your eyes. This guy needs a toaster oven.
You know what he needs? He needs a nice toasty English muffin. You know what he needs for that?
That is true.
Yeah, he needs a toaster oven.
He needs a toaster oven, right. Just go out and lock it up when you're done, okay? All right. Bring it in so we can all see it. It's a beauty.
Bill likes to have what I call the non-yard sale yard sale.
Well,
I'm not complaining because I've benefited from this many times.
Well, here's why. Every time I have a garage sale, you have all this stuff left over.
Mm-hmm.
But if you bring the stuff to the radio station, I'm done with it now. I'm done with it. Davey's taking it or whatever. I've also got a bamboo shade, a pull-up shade that's
I think you're speaking my
it's
language
a 6-footer.
there.
It's a 6-footer.
How wide is it?
It doesn't have
6 feet.
6 feet.
Oh, it's 6 feet wide.
Yeah.
For a 6 feet tall window.
It's the type you would put
Well,
like
it's
if
always
you have
going
an
to be tall enough.
opening for your porch.
Correct.
And you want to block the sun
Yeah,
as it
man.
starts to set. It's
Now,
a
this
great
is
way
not
to-
a crank one. This does not have a crank, but it actually doesn't even have a string to it, which I kind of liked. It's got little clips, so when you get it to the level you want, you clip it and it stays there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's made out of real bamboo.
I believe this
Wow.
is real bamboo.
That's solid.
Yeah. It's not one of the plastic ones. You can get plastic.
Even if it's not bamboo, it blocks the sun all the same.
It does.
Jeff, I feel like you should be on this.
Now I have two
I'm
of
already
them.
on it.
I have two of them. Now what I would suggest is one is brand new, one is used. And what I'd suggest is you put the used one up. When the used one breaks, you pull out the brand new one and replace it.
So you're literally giving him a spare.
I'm giving him a spare. Not only I'm giving him one plus the replacement.
See, now this is what I asked if
Look at
it
this.
was a pop top or an actual oven, and it is a toaster oven.
It's a Breville.
Oh wow! You could make little toaster
Oh,
pizzas in there.
Yeah, that's a toaster oven.
Yeah, that's an
not like
actual toaster oven.
That's
That's
not a
why I
bread
asked. 'Cause He
toaster.
said toaster oven. He did not say toaster. So
Yeah, I said
I was
toaster
curious.
oven.
This is like a lost art. Most people have microwaves now. You know,
No,
they don't have the
these are
toaster
great.
oven.
You can't do the crispy things
Exactly.
with that.
Wow,
Yeah.
did you clean this up? This looks brand new.
It is. That's a beautiful one. I mean, that was like $600-700.
That thing is brand
We
new.
paid.
really nice.
We paid about $500 too much, but no, that's not true.
Well, it's not a smeg. You know,
It's a nice.
but it's a
stainless
really
steel.
nice. What is that?
Yeah.
Prevail or? It's that's a
Yeah,
quality
it is.
piece.
It is Breville.
Yeah, you just
So,
won the lottery.
Your
man.
wife's not
that's
waking
awesome.
up this morning, walking out to the kitchen, going, "How am I going to make
She's
the
opening
bagels?"
she's opening the bread.
She was going to take it to school, and they couldn't use it at school.
Okay.
So, we wanted to go to someone who could really use it. And look at this guy, Davey.
Big
He
smile.
can use it. He's happy as a lark over there,
That thing is awesome.
right?
Could you use? Do you have a toaster oven?
No.
Oh, you don't know about a
Yeah.
toaster oven. Michael does though.
Yeah,
Yep.
I grew up with a toaster oven.
So did I. You can do brownies in there. You can do any kind of baked
Wait
goods.
a minute. Wait a
You
minute.
can
Wait.
cook
Wait.
fish,
Whoa.
you
Whoa.
can
Whoa.
cook
Whoa.
steak,
Whoa.
chicken.
Whoa. Whoa.
going on,
My
Wickens?
wife just texted me. I got to bring it back. I'm sorry.
Oh man,
I
Oh,
apologize.
Davey's like, you're taking it back out to the car, not me.
No, I'm kidding, Davey. It's yours. It's yours. She
if you're in
said-
here tomorrow with a pair of stilettos,
She said, I hope he enjoys it. All right?
There
Take
you
it
go.
with you. Very nice.
Nice job, Smitty. That's a
Get
good
it,
find.
Get it out
Yeah,
of here
man.
before somebody takes it on you.
Of course, the world's largest
That's a
yard.
nice one, though, right?
That is. It's like, and who scrubbed it down? It's like brand new.
did you try to sell that?
Listen.
No one bought it.
This was, there's a long story. It was at my daughter's, and she couldn't fit it in her tiny little apartment. So we brought it home, and then my wife was going to take it to school. And
They probably had some hot plate rule. They can only use a
right,
microwave
right.
or something. Yeah.
They right.
If you were watching on YouTube, I mean, you could see it's a toaster oven. It's
a beautiful toaster oven,
and
yeah.
it's very nice. Yes, but in New York City, I believe in New York City, that's called an oven. That's what
might
they
be,
call
yeah.
it in New York
Yeah.
City. Yeah, the toaster oven was too big for my daughter's apartment.
Well, think about that.
Think
Just
about
give
that.
some thought about that. It just she didn't have any room. So, but Davey, we wanted to go to somebody who could really use it, and you're gonna love it. You know what they're best for? When you have leftover pizza, you don't want to put that in the microwave
Right.
oven.
Oh, there's so many.
You want
That's
to
how-
put that. In
so
a
I don't
toaster
have a
oven.
microwave. And,
There are people who don't have.
and
Although I will
no,
say,
but pizza though, when you put your oven at like 350,
You
put
gotta-
those slices back in the oven.
you got to do it
man.
that way.
Oh,
Here's the other thing. They always say you can tell a lot about a person by the way, the clothes they wear, the words they say. You can tell a lot about a person by looking inside their microwave oven.
oh man.
Please don't look inside.
Oh.
Every
I'm
time
just
I do
telling
the popcorn and I make a little extra butter, it
Mm-hmm.
always explodes.
Well, when-
the brick of butter, the chunk of butter is still frozen or whatever. It's still solid, but somehow it pops, and I get butter all over
butter
the inside.
you have to do in 10-second increments. You do 10 seconds and then stop it. 10 seconds again and stop it. That's how you melt butter.
That's a lot.
It's
When
a
we
pain in
opened
the
the
neck.
office downtown, I was like the site manager for it.
Mhm.
It was like 6 guys, whatever.
Mike Galimi in studio.
Oh,
by
yeah.
he's the
Hello. Good
Mayoral
morning.
candidate in
So-
Utica.
We have a microwave going into the kitchen, and I told all the office workers, I said, listen, you can boil tea water and
Yeah.
make popcorn. The first time I opened that microwave oven, and there's like spaghetti and meatballs exploded all over it, I'm throwing it out the window.
There's nothing worse than that when they're messy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a disaster.
Here's the other thing that's a great Davies. Don't you go selling that toaster oven on me.
He's already on the phone selling it.
The other thing is
Listing it.
the microwave oven. We have a magnetic, and I don't know how this is done, but it's magnetic. It's a cover that goes over top of anything, so it does everything, so it doesn't splatter.
Yes.
But it's magnetic. I don't know how it is because you can't put metal in a microwave. But it's got a little magnet on the top, so you put it up and it sticks to the top of the microwave. Greatest invention ever.
So I have a plastic one, like a really hard, durable plastic.
It's a plastic cover, but it has a magnet in it. So instead of, because what do you do with it? What do you do with it?
I know it's always in the way. It's either on top of the microwave or it's on the
put
shelf
it right
underneath.
right up to the top. It doesn't cause any problem at all. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that is a great
Yeah.
thing. So, by the way, we talked to John from down the hall here earlier this week, or last week, about the world's largest yard sale, and his thing is he'll go around, find something for a great price, and resell it. I think Smitty's in there. He got a great deal on a toaster oven, $0, free 99, as we like to call it.
Yeah.
And are you in there
I
taking bids?
personally think that's why he came in on the YouTube feed with the
That
oven,
is, yeah.
because then everyone
Might have
saw
been.
it.
It's
Yeah.
official.
Did somebody call? What were you saying on the phone? Somebody called and made an offer?
No.
No.
What were they doing?
It's Wayne was just making me laugh.
Here's Wayne on the toaster oven. Good morning, Wayne. Good morning.
I was more so wanting to talk about when you said you could tell a lot about somebody by the microwave.
Yeah.
I always get on Angeline. If she does stuff in that microwave, she doesn't clean it right afterwards, so I go behind her and I clean it. I said, you got it looking like nice and easy or a break room microwave.
there's
I said, I
nothing-
don't want
yeah.
my microwave like that.
No. And the break room microwave is usually disgusting.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. So I'll go to somebody's house and we'll be over there for dinner and stuff. And you always bring a nice bottle of wine. I'll immediately look inside their microwave. Be like, that's how you can tell if the bathroom's clean.
We stay in a housekeeping cottage, right?
Nice.
Up north.
Yeah.
One of those places you rent for a week, but you clean it on the way in and out. Now, every year, my wife and I, and it's run by this family, same family for literally like almost 150 years.
yeah.
And they go through and the family gives you a report when you get there the next year. A year later, they're like, you did really good.
They score you.
Yeah, they score you. They're like, you get 1 star, gold, like all this. So we get back, and they're like, so everything was really tidy the way it always is. But there was one issue. You guys destroyed the microwave. We were mortified, my wife and I, because we don't use a microwave at home. We don't use it there.
Right.
It had been blown up by the previous people, and it was like that. And then,
Well, you can't put metal in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, not blown up.
okay.
Blown up is there was
Something
chicken and
exploded,
barbecue
yeah,
sauce,
yeah.
God knows what in there. So now we always check the microwave to make sure the previous people have not left it.
So you
in
didn't
disarray.
you didn't use
We
it.
didn't
You were
use
the
it.
one.
And it was
Yeah.
hilarious because they were like, after 15 years, you've
Yeah,
destroyed our
been-
microwave. We're like, well, what?
Yeah. No,
it's terrible.
Do you
Microwaves
not
make a
use a
mess.
microwave because you don't? Some people think it causes cancer.
No, we just never.
Just
I was
don't
never
use it.
into it. Didn't grow
Yeah.
up with one, and
Yeah.
my parents have one now. But
Yeah.
I don't like it on the counter.
We build ours into the wall.
It's true. See, I went with
'cause
double
I don't
ovens.
want it on the
I
counter
wanted
either.
2 full-size ovens when I redid
Very
my
nice.
kitchen instead of
Sounds
a
like your
microwave.
kitchen is beautiful.
I built
Wayne,
it.
Wayne,
Hey,
and
hey, Bill.
and it sounds
Bill.
like you have a clean microwave, Wayne.
Always. And Bill, you know what I say? You could always tell a lot about somebody and how clean they are by when you open up their shower curtain, not the medicine cabinet. Look at this. Look inside the tub. And if that tub looks nasty, 9 out of 10 times, they're nasty.
I got to say, the next time I'm at someone's house, I'm not going up to their bathroom and creeping around and checking out their tub.
All right. Wayne, you're not allowed at my house. Just for the record.
That's what I'm picturing right now. Yeah.
Later, guys.
All right, have fun.
Have a good
Wayne.
one.
Thank
Good
you,
day.
man. Okay.
I can tell you because Wayne did a little. Wayne painted my house.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that Wayne is extremely clean.
Particular.
He was very particular. Every day when he left, you wouldn't know. Other than seeing the before and after, you wouldn't know somebody was there doing work.
That's my favorite.
And I really appreciated that.
In studio right now is Mike Galimi. He's running for mayor of Utica. We're coming up on primary time.
We are.
It's close. We're in the month of June.
Thank you for mentioning that.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's primary time.
So the 27th is Election Day, and then, 10 days prior to that,
Yes,
will
the
be
17th
early voting.
starts early voting.
Yep.
I can't remember the particular dates on the absentees, but I think the deadline for requesting one is coming up. But 17th is primaries are
Primaries are a very interesting animal.
Yes.
So why do you want? I guess I'll ask a few Utica mayoral questions. Why do you want the people of Utica, the Republicans in Utica, to select you for their candidate?
So I'm going to stick to actual primary jargon, right? The reason I believe that I should win the primary is that I know that if I'm extended to go to the general, I absolutely have a platform, I have the experience, and I have a level-headed, just exemplary behavior on the council that I believe people, and they're staying, on doorsteps, they're saying this, that I want to take to the office. So I know that if I'm the person who can make it to the general, especially for the Republicans in the audience, I'm the candidate you can choose that is going to be professional, you can be proud of, and I can take it through to January.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think there was a little Trump in there, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, God. You want to polarize me or what?
No. It was just how you said.
I'm not sure that works in Utica.
It was just how you said.
If you want to level it off, I'll trip out the door, and then we can.
My behavior on the council was exemplary. People are saying it on their doorsteps. They tell me all the time.
I didn't say tell me all the time.
No, I know.
I didn't say tell me all the time. But that is the feedback I'm getting.
That's good.
When I speak to, and that's something I've really, really worked hard to do, is no matter what, make sure the council could stay level. It's my responsibility to make sure people can work together, and even when it's contentious.
And act like adults at the meetings?
Exactly.
And the council, over the years, Uticans must be able to remember some craziness that has...
The first Stewart's debacle was the first time I said, as a professional in the city who was going to live here, that I wanted to contribute, and that's why I ran. That's one of the reasons I ran for council president in 2015. I wanted to make sure that if things came to the council and they had the potential of getting out of control, someone was leading that council that could keep people level, but also still make sure the people can say what they need to say. Make sure that the council people are listening to the people. Make sure everyone is part of the conversation before a decision is made.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean the right decisions are made. Just people like the decisions, but I want to make sure that process.
How do you feel on so staying with Stewart's?
Yeah.
The argument that there's already a gas station over there, we shouldn't allow another one.
Right.
Do you? Because that just doesn't seem like a very good argument to me. But that was one of the arguments.
The reason I think that was an argument was that you see in a lot of small towns across America gas station alleys where you end up with four corners of gas stations. I think the constituents in South Utica were very concerned that, going 5-10 years out, they'll end up with, on each corner there, something very similar to what you see in North Utica. I don't believe that to be the case.
Yeah.
The other properties above Stewart's on Woodlawn are zoned residential. They require zoning changes. But what I advised the council when we were going through this, similar to when we were going through the Kelberman Center, apartment issue, is that what you need to do now, even though you're dealing with the issue at hand, is be proactive and take that code. And if you feel that it does need to be revised, that's what you should be working on now while you're dealing with the issue at hand. So if people want to make sure, that you can't do that across the street, and I'm talking about across the street on Woodlawn where the dental office is, et cetera, where the daycare is, those are the things you need to do now before somebody buys a piece of property and wants to do with what they are allowed to do with it.
We talked this morning about when you go camping or wherever you go there, how clean your microwave is and your shower curtain and all that stuff. If you're mayor, are you going to continue the sweeps? What do you think of the sweeps? Is it a good thing, bad thing? And will you continue to do it if you're elected mayor?
Well, even right now as council president, I do a form of the sweeps, in my opinion. I do typically drive the different districts at lunch. I'll go out at night, anywhere between 11 and 2 in the morning. And there's no reason any elected official can't do that in a constant fashion. That's what the council people should be doing right now. The sweeps as is, I am not looking to keep that moving forward. I will be doing something similar if elected, but I will not be pulling from noon to the end of the day a large swath of people who should be serving the public within the roles of their jobs during working hours of City Hall when elected mayor.
Do you mean the DPW staff, or you mean like
across the board,
business people?
Across the board.
Business.
You've got people from URA, you've got people from codes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think it has been a good thing, okay? But again, there's a lot of good things that people do like that this mayor is doing, that when new leadership comes in, they're going to have to do look, the whole reason he started doing that, Mayor Paul Mary, was to look at codes issues, to get people more engaged in taking care of their properties, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I want to take a different spin on that. I want it to be more personal. I don't want it to be a parade every Wednesday with, like I said, one of the things that has bothered me with that situation is a lot of people aren't in City Hall. Now, granted, it's once a week. He does it during the fair weather seasons, if you will. But I will be doing something similar, but not using the resources of the city to do it.
Isn't it already handled?
Well, I mean, it'll be the mayor.
Isn't it already handled though through codes? Isn't that the job?
Yes, that's my point.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a situation where it's a spectacle.
Let's get the cameras out. Let's show I'm walking. You got to clean up your property.
No, I want the results of an active codes department and an engaged codes department that's managing codes and nuisance abatement over 4 years of a term, if elected, if I'm elected, to be the result. I'm much less concerned with the promotion of it and much more concerned with the action of the city.
What will you do? You said you'll do something different.
Well, like I said, as mayor, I'm going to be working with the council people.
But you said you're going to be doing something like the sweeps, but yours will be different.
Yeah, I'll be personally driving around as mayor, and making sure that the codes officers are on the things we believe should be prioritized. There's a different way to run things. I believe that over the course of 3 to 6 months, if elected next year, I will be working directly with the codes commissioner and the codes department to do an overall assessment to see what we need to prioritize.
What would you
and then
do?
I'm going to be checking up on that.
What will you do differently? Do you feel there are situations where the mayor, and I think I've heard you talk about this, where the mayor should have led, like maybe on complete streets, maybe on some other issues where the mayor could have stepped up, and even on the Stewart's issue, the mayor probably could have stepped up more vocally, more publicly. Do you feel that's an issue? And
Absolutely.
would you do differently?
Absolutely. As mayor, if elected, I have to say if elected, people are getting mad because I'm saying as mayor lately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when mayor. But no, the mayor does need to lead, especially if it's administrative action. Okay, if somebody comes to the administration with a project, I won't be seeking out council people to lead things that the mayor's office should be leading.
Right.
If it is an effort in concert with the council, I still believe the mayor should be present. I will be present for that. Even as council president, I've had to step up and lead different efforts and be in front of things because no one wants to just be the wall that gets everything thrown at it. So that the people, the council people, and the administrative action that needs to happen can then work together and do something that needs to be done. Somebody needs to be okay bearing that brunt on their shoulders and being upfront about it. About it. Stewart's in particular, okay? Throughout that entire situation, I could not do this as council president. I would have been leading as mayor with the actual Urban and Economic Development Commissioner and explaining to the people exactly what was going on with that process, exactly what zoning was already in effect so that there couldn't be any rumor mill. The thing that pained me the most the first council meeting when people came to speak out about that wasn't that they were speaking out against Stewart's.
Right.
If you don't agree with each other, I think people should be talking
Sure,
like that,
sure.
right? The problem I had with it is that they were led astray by certain people, and they came with false arguments. I cannot stand when people want to voice their opinion of frustration, and then they are using false information because they were given false information. It's the worst way to actually try to come to the table.
What examples of false information on the
The
Stewart's
zoning.
issue? Right.
Okay, that two-family house on the corner. Okay, we had council people in council meeting saying that that was not zoned appropriately for Stewart's. Then you had a bunch of constituents coming forward, public comment talking about it, actual issues. And then I had to get beat over the head as council president because I had to explain to people that that was zoned just the same as the Raspberries property. And then people, we don't believe this can't be. If the administration led that charge, explaining exactly what was going on and when the zoning was put in place for that,
controlled
it
that
would have been
situation.
a much more level situation.
All right.
As leading up to this, I actually got a question here from Mike. For Mike.
Interesting.
This is
Hopefully it's not my 9-year-old son.
101 Woodlawn Ave. Is that the property that you're
Okay,
talking?
yes.
This property was talked about when the Stewarts here in South Utica was a topic of discussion. Me and a few neighbors dug up information that there were conflicts of interest. Per codes, an entrance needs to be a certain amount of feet from a traffic light or corner. The corner property Stewarts purchased falls short of that. The property was up for sale in the beginning of 22, et cetera, et cetera. I'm trying to summarize. He's talking about automatic bids for this property, but he says, what interest does the city have for this property?
Automatic bids.
Please bring this up to any elected official. Fast forward to today. It's been on the market for almost 2 weeks and has a few days left per this ad online.
All right,
where
so
there's
hang on.
bidding
I
online.
know exactly which property we're talking about right here. It's the property that's zoned residential that was rumored, to be sold to Stewart's. Stewart's was not interested in that because that property was not zoned appropriately. Only the two-family house was. The property, I think it's 101 Woodlawn, that we're talking about now is the house that's next up. The auction had that listed for sale.
That one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the county had that listed as at auction. I actually signed up to watch the auction because I wanted to see it.
Yeah, this is through the county. Yep.
Now, what happens with foreclosures is the city typically gets them. But the county can come in and take it first.
Yeah.
I've been checking on that, and as of last week, I was told that the county pulled the listing and that it's now going to be auctioned under the city. So that's actually going to go through city auction.
Okay.
Rather than county. That's the status. That property is not zoned to be part of that Stewart's project. I've talked to Stewart's multiple times, and they've told me they have no interest in that property.
All right.
I do know there are people in the city who want to bid on that property because they think it's an advantageous property to buy because it's in a good location, and they may want to rent it out to people.
All right.
One follow-up to that. It says, ask Galimi when and what code was changed to allow a gas station to be in a historic district.
In a historic district?
Was that corner part of a historic district?
That's the
where
scenic and
was?
historic district.
Okay.
Okay, that runs the length of Genesee Street. That's
So-
that's always been the case. That wasn't changed so that you could put gas stations in the scenic and historic district. There's a scenic and historic district overlay on top of Genesee Street and beyond, if you look at the map.
Okay.
And the way that works is that's an overlay, on top of urban mixed use, residential, whatever you're doing. Whether it's a shoe factory or a single-family mansion, there's a scenic and historic overlay on top of that, in which case the Scenic and Historic District board, that board actually has purview to direct any development to fit within the scenic and historic guidelines.
Yeah.
So similar to Pittsford, New York, where you drive up and down their main drag. I don't know if anyone's been to Pittsford. You see McDonald's, Wegmans, Rite Aid, multiple different gas stations, but they all look and feel like Pittsford. That's what scenic and historic does.
Okay.
Okay. We saw that in Cooperstown when certain properties, like I remember a big story down there where they wanted to put a Pizza Hut within the confines of within the village, and it didn't get passed because they had the option to be able to. They wanted the roof not to be red.
Really?
Well,
and all the slices had to be diamond
Stewart's
cut.
proposal,
I think so.
Through the Stewart's proposal, that whole situation, I was asking scenic and historic, and this is in writing multiple different times, to perform the scenic and historic review and hold them to different roof lines, different colors. Now, I wasn't suggesting brick per se, because if you go through South Utica, you can't say brick in South Utica.
Right.
But if they wanted to, they could have done a very rigorous scenic and historic, and Stewart's was ready to do it, but everyone was just consumed with blocking the two-family house from the construction. So I've mentioned this on the radio before. We lost out with the action on that because everyone was just consumed with trying to block it.
So instead of the traditional maroon look with the what is it, the cedar shake or the shingling on the side of the, you're saying that the city could have had input into how that was designed and how it actually looks?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what the Scenic and Historic Board is for.
I will say that it does look completely different over there now. You feel like you're in a bit of a different neighborhood almost without that raspberries.
As somebody who drives
there.
by it every single day,
Yep.
okay, and I know someone's going to bang me over the head for this. I've been driving by that corner forever. I've lived in South Utica now for 20 years. My family lived over there beforehand.
Yeah.
So my cousin grew up working at the Hess. That corner looks great right now.
Yeah.
Okay. It does. It does.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. The Stewart's facade as is actually does, which one of the board members in Scenic Historic told me,
does fit.
and I agreed with him. He said, listen, I know you want it to look more like the old school South Utica, like kind of how the beer hub looks, but it does match the other neighboring houses.
Yeah.
And it does. It does.
Yeah.
So, they're doing a nice job. They didn't cut the trees down. Okay, and that was one of the other rumors. I still had people calling me.
Yeah.
Well, they said that the people were against this said that they were definitely cutting the trees down. They have no intention of cutting those trees down.
Mike, another Mike, asking you to speak into the mic about this question. Ask Mike what his thoughts are regarding city limits and the film commissioner.
The film commissioner?
Yeah, Paul Buckley.
Buck.
Well, city limits and the film commissioner are two different things.
That's true.
Okay. That's true.
We understand that.
And I think that the city limits program, as is, has been run for 12 years. I think Paul Buckley does a great job promoting the city. He does a lot of other things within the scope of his work. If you look in the budget, part of his budget comes from, it's left me now. I don't have the budget. I think it might be URA something. But he does two different things for the city. And he does a great job. I think that especially with the Utica Film Commission, which was, really a baby a long time ago, but then really started to get some teeth in 2016 when the Stanley became a qualified production facility. And now we actually have a municipal film commission. You saw Severance here. There's huge value and market to have somebody in that position, doing real work for the city that's needed, but then also having the time to bring that type of business. You should look at the hotel bills from that film when they came in.
Oh, I'll bet. Yeah.
I think 3-4x what a Broadway show brings in.
Yeah.
The bed tax that they're bringing in. This is a real industry. That's why it's listed at Empire State Development. So the film commissioner role is very important. But if you do look at what Paul Buckley actually does, he has a whole role within the city that's above and beyond that has to do with even like marketing houses, all kinds of different stuff.
So if elected,
more than ECI.
If elected, there's a chance that Paul would make it into yet another administration.
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Question here from Paul in Utica. Any chance the film commissioner could get a raise under the new administration?
Did you really get that from him?
No, I'm teasing.
Yeah,
Good morning, Buck. No, he did not message me.
And then
he's always BSing. I love Buck.
I would also ask, the last time you were on, you were very critical of your opponent, Bob Cardillo, on the issue of Bruce Karam and the things that have been said, the tapes that were released. All of that going on with the school district, and we now know there is an investigation going on.
Yeah.
We're told it involves the FBI, the Southern District, the Northern District of New York, and the Comptroller's Office. That all has been confirmed for us. Now, Cardillo did, when he was on, he did say, I could not support that type of language and behavior. I believe, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he did basically denounce that. How do you respond to that?
He should have denounced it in the first place. He knew what happened. So I want somebody in the mayor's office, and I do believe that to be myself. That's why we have a primary.
How did he know it happened? Because I'm not sure that he'd seen the report yet.
Which interview are we talking about?
The last.
The most recent.
Yeah.
It was in the report. He didn't hear the audio tapes. He had access to the report.
You're saying he did see the report?
Yeah, the board members had access to the report in writing of what happened.
Okay.
All the corroborating statements, all the quotes. They had access to that. Okay. And at that point, that should have been enough. Because this isn't something that just happened and it's like some HR review, first time, et cetera, et cetera. You can literally say this is behavior that should not be taking place between an administration and their subordinates.
Mm-hmm.
There's no problem with just saying it.
Right.
Even if my friend did something like that, I'd say, unfortunately, I have to pull him aside and reevaluate how this guy treats people. Now, typically, I try to make sure I don't find myself in that type of company. But when you're in politics, sometimes you do.
Sure.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think that my opponent should be speaking to that, and I think him denouncing it now is too little, too late.
Okay.
Can
Anything
I
else?
just say before we let him go, Smitty, bring that pan in from the toaster oven. We're going to hit Mike over the head. He's been asking for it all morning.
Nice.
So.
Okay. Actually, he'll inspect it to make sure it's clean enough. He's really good with that. So.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Galimi, good luck out there. Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time.
Have a great day.
Stand by. I have statistics, and we love statistics because, they can be manipulated and turned into clickbait. But here's a good one for you. Which state do you think is the most dangerous state for a postal worker when walking and delivering mail? And we're talking about canines, dogs. Which state has the most dog bites when it comes to postal workers? You can guess. I'm not going to give the answer yet, but go ahead and
Just
guess.
a random thought. Tennessee popped into my head.
Tennessee.
I don't know why.
Well, you just think Tennessee.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you know if that exists.
When you said dogs.
Dogs.
Like dog owners.
Dog owners.
And
dogs,
protected properties.
Dogs biting postal workers.
I'll bet you a spot in the administration that I can guess the city. I can guess the city and the state.
Oh, man.
Okay. All right. I don't know that I have the city, though. Let me talk to you about pain. If you have severe pain, back pain, neck, shoulder pain, you do not have to live with pain. Dr. Hyder and the Omni Surgery Center in Utica are here to help. Office location is in the business park. The surgery center is on French Road, and their website, check it out, killpain.com. Killpain.com. Call today for an appointment. We've been in with my dad 3 or 4 times, and it's a strategy of eliminating and reducing the pain. Now, it could mean a less invasive surgery, but it could be injections such as nerve blocks and other injections that can make the pain go away. Dr. Hyder, people travel from all over the country and all over Canada as well to have procedures done. Go to the website, killpain.com. It's the Omni Surgery Center with Dr. Hyder, 315-765-8448, where modern technology meets cutting-edge surgery.
Adirondack Home Furniture knows that when it comes to outdoor furniture, you want something that's comfortable, durable, and stylish. That's why Polywood is the perfect choice. Polywood furniture is made from high-quality materials that are weather-resistant and easy to clean. Plus, each piece is designed with comfort and style in mind, so you can enjoy your outdoor space like never before. Whether you're looking for classic Adirondack chairs, stylish dining sets and sofas, or a beautiful fire pit, Polywood has everything you need to create the perfect outdoor oasis. So why wait? Transform your outdoor space into a place of relaxation, fun, and style with Polywood furniture at Adirondack Home Furniture. Stop in and explore their large selection of Polywood pieces and take one home today. Adirondack Home Furniture does custom orders, delivery, and setup. Stop in today and explore the world of Polywood. Adirondack Home Furniture in the former Riverside Mall, North Utica, or at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
If you're looking for flooring, boy, do I have the perfect place for you. This is Bill Keeler, and I highly recommend Sarah's Flooring Outlet. the area's leading flooring store. They have the absolute largest inventory in Central New York, and it's a brand new store at the Route 49 Plaza in Marcy. And if you're looking for Pergo Extreme, they have a price guarantee anywhere in the area within a 60-mile radius of their store. It's a pretty awesome deal, and you know you're going to get the best deal at Inserras. Log on to their website at inserrasflooringoutlet.com and sign up to save $50 off your next purchase of $500 or more. You can shop online or in the store. You will not find a better selection than Inserras Flooring Outlet. See why more people buy from the big store. Its selection, its price, and it's a 6-month interest-free financing. Log on to the website, inserrasflooringoutlet.com, and see for yourself or visit their store. Inserras Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy.
Get in zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So, you've got an oil change coming up. Consider STP Conventional to save on motor oil for your everyday vehicle. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP oil filter for only $26.99. Get the complete job done at the right price at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com. Get in zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Also, portions of the program brought to you by Steve Potty Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Their Move to Mazda sales event is back, and you can enjoy 2.9% APR financing up to 36 months on new 2023 Mazda CX-30s, CX-5s, and CX-50s. Enjoy 0% APR financing up to 36 months on the new 2023 Mazda CX-9. It's the Move to Mazda sales event from the dealership that's achieved first place nationally in customer satisfaction with Ricky Z, Steve Potty Mazda Commercial Drive in Yorkville. So the question is, dogs attacked more than 5,300 mail carriers last year. Mm-hmm. Which state is the worst when it comes to? I actually have the top 5. The worst when it comes to dogs biting postal workers. You said Tennessee, and Manaski, you're going to break it right down to the city.
Houston, Texas.
Why Houston, Texas, and why Texas?
Because when I did my 7:30 news update, it was my kicker story. There's 57 attacks in that city alone.
Oh, wow. so you knew the answer?
Yes,
I
don't know the state, but I guess
ringer.
I know the biggest city. I'll try to retrieve the story here. Retrieve, you like that? Da-doom. The story I had was new report: U.S. Postal Service cautious of man's best friend. USPS reports more than 5,300 postal workers were attacked by dogs last year. Houston, Texas, had the highest number of dog attacks. With 57.
But not
the largest state.
The largest state. The largest state is California.
That was after I thought about it in a data-driven way. That's what I was thinking.
California, followed by Texas, followed by New York, followed by, of all, number 4. I'm shocked by this, followed by Pennsylvania.
It's population-based. If you think about it.
Yeah.
It's just the amount of dogs. That's definitely what it is. It's the
Pennsylvania,
probability of being bit by a dog.
I wouldn't see Pennsylvania. There must be a lot of dog bites in Philly.
So, but here's my question, though. How do they label this? Attacked by dogs. Does that mean I couldn't deliver mail to your box today because you left the dog out and it was howling at me? Or does that mean the dog ran up and took a chunk out of somebody's leg?
There were 5,300 dog attacks.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how they label attack.
Well, you got a point there.
An attack would not be a growl. An attack would be they had to be bitten. Or chased. I guess that would be an attack. They were chased.
I know someone who has a P.O. box right now. The dog never attacked the mailman, but they stopped delivering the mail because the dog was getting so crazy.
Why don't they put the dog in the back instead of the front then? Just put the dog out back. You'll get your mail.
What are you doing with it? Well, maybe you're trying to protect your property.
I think.
But how are you going to get the mail?
Now I have a pug, right?
Yeah.
And you should see the pug. Like, it's just an attack of licking.
Yeah.
I laughed the first because I had never had a dog before. The kid's got a pug. And the dog literally loves people. And it's the opposite. Like, he runs up to the mailman and just licks the mailman to death.
I find that annoying, too, because if that dog's coming up, running up to me, ready to lick me, I'm going to pepper spray the dog. I have to.
And I would
I don't know, is he going to attack me?
I would expect it.
Yeah.
Well, she gets down and she wants to pet him and whatnot.
Understood. Hey, we got to go. Thank you. Thank you. Davey, enjoy the toaster oven. We're back here tomorrow morning.
Warner Sales and Service. Building relationships, building trust.
This is Lynn from Warner Sales and Service. If you are push mowing your yard, using an inefficient lawn tractor, or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see us at Warner Sales and Service on the Greenway New London Road in Rome, just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona, and we'll guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at warnerss.com.
Warner's, where quality still counts at Warner's.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Former Vice President Mike Pence, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, and Chris Christie, who also ran in 2016, all planning to join the Republican presidential race. Nikki Haley's been in it since February.
I think we've got a country to save, and people realize that. And what we know is we have to have a new generational leader.
The former U.S. ambassador to the UN just told Fox they cannot turn back to the GOP frontrunner, former President Trump.
We should want to win the majority of Americans. And in order to do that, we've got to go in a different direction.
NTSB investigators go to the site of the plane crash in Virginia where no survivors were found. After that, Cessna caused a big stir yesterday, turning around on a flight from Tennessee to New York, then violating Washington airspace, prompting the military to scramble fighter jets, causing that sonic boom that shook D.C. residents who were wondering what's going on.
GOP mega donor John Rumpel tells the New York Times that his daughter, 2-year-old granddaughter, her nanny, and the pilot were the 4 killed in the plane that crashed in Southwest Virginia. The pilot of the small plane was unresponsive despite the use of flares and other means to contact him before the crash.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. Investigators in India are probing a possible signaling failure in Friday's train crash that killed 275 people.
Devastated relatives are identifying their loved ones. I've told my father, says Uday Kumar, whose brother was killed. My mother's heart is too weak. What we know about the disaster is that a passenger train hit a stationary freight train, jumped the tracks, and collided with another passenger train heading in the opposite direction.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. One of the strictest gun laws in America goes on trial this week. It's in Oregon, approved by voters, but blocked by lawsuits that claim it violates the Constitution, limiting gun ammunition capacity and requiring gun buyers in Oregon to get a permit first and undergo training. America's listening to Fox News.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation delivers on its promise to do good and never forget the sacrifices of America's greatest heroes. Heroes like Marine Corps Corporal Seth Rasmussen, who lost his life in an Osprey aircraft crash. Tunnel to Towers immediately stepped in to provide his wife and infant son with a mortgage-free home. Help the families of heroes like Seth get through the worst times in their lives. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
The Dell Technologies Summer Sale event starts now with limited quantity deals on select performance PCs with Windows 11 Pro. Save on select Vostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Save on essential accessories, plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at